Previously on Blutora Divided. Our group, consisting of Pipra, Hera, Avian, Tormund, and Darcy's, all managed to successfully make it the rest of the way through war-torn Elabet. With the assistance of Tanith, the bounty hunter, upon crossing the border into Ithaca, the traveling band witnessed a massive battle of truly epic proportions between the Acrylic Empire and the Dukaze Elves of Ithaca. They made sure to avoid the war zone at all costs, and bid Tanith farewell once they had successfully made it into Ithaca, as she was only hired specifically for the trek through Elabet.
Crying.
Unfortunately for the group, however, shortly thereafter they had a sudden encounter with two T's, a deadly and vicious creature found across central Blutora. After a hard-fought encounter, the group dispatched the creatures and carried on towards their end goal, to make it to the Cloud King of Ithaca. Some hours spent traveling the roads of southern Ithaca, and eventually they reached the doorstep of Vetziel, deciding not to bring Tormund into the city should anybody recognize him for his bounty.
Ooh, clever.
On the edge of occupied territory, on the brink of invasion, the grand and lively city of Vetziel sits at the base of the Vetziel mountain range. The first thing noticeable is the tall, looming mountains playing border of Ithaca and the Acrylic Empire controlled Ithacan territory. Grand elven walls built of the highest craftsmanship surround the majority of Vetziel. The city itself is large and built as a prime model of Dukaze elven architecture. On the outskirts of the city, as the forests push up against the walls, there sits a collection of houses, woodcutters, herbalists, and hunters alike. The road leading in from the east splits off in a T-shape, with a stretch heading northeast deep into Ithaca, and the opposite headed southwest into Empire-controlled Ithaca. In the center of the city sits a magical palace of grand elven proportions, the Cloudborn Citadel, home to the Cloud King of Ithaca and the Dukaze people. On the lead up to the city, from the southeastern roadway, the forest begins to thin out in favor of buildings on the outskirts. Eventually, the grand walls tower above as the gateway to the city makes itself known. Its large doors closed, Ithacan knights stand on either side at their post. Heightened security appears to be the theme in the area. An aura of paranoia fills every crevice of the settlement. The people appear on edge, frightened and uneasy. It's clear that the war is beginning to take a toll on the Dukaze of southwestern Ithaca, and the city awaits the inevitable. This is where we pick up with our group at the doorstep of the city.
You said there were knights guarding the door, yes?
There are two knights guarding the door, one on either side of Ithacan ranks and colors.
And we're a little bit away from that door, right?
You are roughly 20-30 feet away.
Oh, okay. Not far enough away to be able to have a discreet conversation.
I mean, if you were to whisper, they wouldn't hear you probably, but...
You may
How
look
do we handle
sus.
this?
You're not the only ones out there, I will say. Like, it's there's the typical day-to-day commotion, people come and go, and...
Okay, so we're not necessarily just
Yeah,
a lone traveler.
they're not necessarily paying all of their attention to you. It's a general paying attention to everybody to make sure there's no unwanted people. So their eyes may pass over you from time to time, but not solely you.
And it's daytime, right?
It is daytime. It is evening right now. The sun is kind of entering its sunset phase. The sky is beginning to show some oranges and some faint reds, maybe a slight pink here or there.
So what you're saying is it might be a good idea to find a tavern or an inn soon.
That's up to you.
Well, I don't think we got to long rest after last session, did we?
You were on the road. You were on the road all day.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. So, I figure, and I talked to the party at this point in character. after that encounter with the T's earlier, maybe it might be a good idea to find a tavern here before we, or an inn, before we complete our mission.
This may be helpful as I think I still see some bite marks on Darcy's.
Yes. Yeah, it still hurts. So a rest would be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. All right. Shall we then? And I gesture towards the city gate.
Yes.
Lead
Yes.
the way.
Okay. Who is leading the group?
I think I'm leading, but
Hera
No.
always leads.
okay, cool. Hera always leads. Let me know.
She's
Hera's
definitely
our leader.
definitely the most outgoing.
Okay, let's go for it. All right, Hera's
okay.
gonna lead up, and as she approaches the gate, I'm just gonna go, "Hail!" and kind of get the guard's attention because
Hold
it's
there. He's going to take his
Holding as requested.
great axe that he's got, and he's going to just non-threateningly, he's just going to kind of put it in front of the door, and the other one also does it, and they kind of cross as like a sign of, hold, don't enter kind of thing.
Holding. How can we help?
State your names and business here in the city.
Miss Hera Goldcresian, and I come on courier missionship
May I ask from who?
from way south in the land of Maratea, the very council of the land.
They kind of look at each other for a second.
I'm gonna pull out the little medallion and say, "I believe
I'm gonna
this will
hold
be.
mine up too.
I believe this will be proof enough of the authenticity of our mission."
May I see that?
Yes, of course. Passing it over.
He's going to grab it. He's going to kind of hold it up in the light a little bit and just kind of look at it. He shows it to the other one. Then he offers it back. Very well.
I'll take it.
Make sure to avoid any trouble while in the city. People are on edge with the war so close, and they lift up their weapons, and you hear a kind of sudden, loud noise as the door begins to slowly open. Its either side kind of opens, and it opens inward. So as it kind of opens away from you guys, you start to see parts of the city become visible through the gap in the door that becomes larger and larger, and it eventually reaches a fully opened position. And at its fully opened position, it's probably 10-15 feet wide. It's a pretty big door. So you could all walk in side to side if you wanted to, but just to give you an idea for the scale. The door is open. The city is yours.
Just gonna say to the guard, "Thank you. May it be peaceful out here for much longer. Much longer." Just walk him.
Okay. As you enter into the first bit of city, you are greeted by an even stronger feeling of an even stronger somber tone, a feeling of paranoia, unlike that of which you've seen anywhere on your journey so far. This looming fear and dread amongst all of the people who you see around you. The areas that you might picture to be a little more bustling on a day-to-day basis, near the stables, near the kind of intersections of the roads, around some of the merchants, it's all very doom and gloom, despite the beautiful sunset that occupies the sky on an otherwise beautiful day. It is very, very contrasty. And you do see a stables to your right, with a horse or two and some various people going about their business. Directly ahead of you, the road forks into a Y shape and heads off slightly to the left and slightly to the right into who knows where. You're not really able to determine, as the city is a lot more packed together and a lot more populated than what it might have appeared like from the outside, as there are countless buildings, countless houses and shops and different roads that go every which way. This is by far the most populated area you've been to thus far on your journey.
more populated than even Iphalia?
That is correct.
Ooh, okay. So that's busy. Okay.
You do notice that it's even more packed together than Iphalia as well. Everything's built a little closer together, a little more densely populated, I might say. And a lot of that is due to the fact that it's built at the base of a mountain range rather than kind of in an open plain.
All right. Well, I'd like to look around and see if we can't find a tavern or inn. How about you guys?
It sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can only hope that this is the atmosphere here isn't well, foreshadowing.
Before we go to the tavern, should we request an appointment to see the king for tomorrow?
Good call. Good call. I believe that would be conducive to our expedition.
So would we just like go to the guard, show him the badge, and request an audience for the following day?
Of course, I believe there's a palace we could potentially try that with. Shall we?
Alright.
I must stay behind. Not the most friendly to these people. I'll
Of
stay at
course.
the tavern.
See if you can find us a tavern. We'll catch up with you in a while. And
Right.
hopefully this will be okay. All right. I'm going to go in the direction of the palace, wherever that may be.
Okay.
Darcy, are you coming with it?
Yeah, I'll follow along.
Okay.
You know, you can be okay here by yourself.
Of course, I'll fight my way out of everything.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I
worried
know.
about.
Try to stay out of trouble.
I kind of like
my
give him
best.
a couple of gold coins and say, for the rooms if you can. And it's 8 gold
We
coins.
say
I'm
to the
giving.
person with the most gold.
Okay.
I haven't forgotten about that early game bonus.
So those of you headed towards the palace, Hera is leading, so I'll need Hera to roll an investigation check, and anyone who wants to assist can also roll an
Investigation
investigation.
incoming. These are historically low for me.
You're investigating
Alright.
investigating the path.
It was about to be a 19 as well. That's a 4.
Mine's a 18.
Okay.
18 as well.
Okay. So
Got you.
after a bit of traveling through the streets and walking through the various roads that Vetziel has to offer, passing the various people and seeing the various sights, Darcy's and Pipra, as you're following Hera, you begin to get the idea that Hera is completely lost.
Oh no.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna...
You both have the same idea as to where to go, and it is not where Hera's going.
I am
I'm gonna
wandering
loop Hera's
quietly.
arm and be like, honey, it's that way.
Thank you very much. I'm
Okay.
just gonna accept the L here.
Okay. Fair enough.
The big palace. It's that way.
Okay. Well, I'd like to, arm in arm with Pipra at the moment, go ahead and attempt to relocate the palace and go in the right direction this time.
All right. Fair enough. So you guys travel for a few more minutes, making your way through the various streets, alleyways, roads, past the traders and travelers, the citizens, the workers, the various guards, everyone who you might picture finding in a city such as this. And eventually you reach a clearing at the base of the looming palace in the center of the city that you all come to know as the Cloudborn Citadel through what you've heard previously, as it's a very notable, prominent location in Blutora, but also through the various whispers and voices that you hear in the city as you travel through it, as it's very much on everyone's mind. It's very much what a lot of people see as the target for the Archaic Empire in their current state of occupation within Western Ithaca.
Hmm.
At the base of the citadel, next to its grand doors that sit on the opposite side of a small bridge that crosses over a typical moat type of situation that also kind of interconnects with the city's sewers and such.
I wasn't expecting a moat. Alright.
Oh, okay.
2 guards sit on either side, similar in a way to the knights of the entrance to the city. However, these 2 appear to be of a much higher training, and although their armor isn't necessarily heavier per se, or their weaponry isn't necessarily more intimidating, they have this aura about them that these are some of the best soldiers that the Dukaze have to offer. And they stand guard on either side of the door, much like the 2 at the entrance to the city. Not necessarily doing anything other than standing at their post unless somebody approaches the door, in which they stop them and converse for a moment.
I am going to approach the door, and I'm going to attempt to converse with them. Just gonna, in the exact same manner, approach them and go, "Hail!
Hold there.
Halting as requested. How can I be of assistance?"
What business do you have in the Cloudborn Citadel?
We, me and my party, wish an audience with the Cloud King.
An audience with the Cloud King, right. And this is for what exactly?
We bring courier ship, well, as an extension of the Maritain Council, and at this point, again, the amulet's out.
Okay.
I am holding this as like proof of credibility. I believe you'll need to inspect this, and I just hold it forward and offer it up.
He's going to take it and kind of study it for a second. And you all have one of these?
I will hold mine up.
Okay.
I think Darcy's does have one, yeah, because she joined us just before we got them.
He's going to look at it some more.
Yeah, she should.
And then look back up at you guys. Very well. I will need to hold on to one of these to prove your true intentions, and should you return at first light tomorrow with the rest of these, you shall be granted your audience.
First light, understood. Well, keep mine. This is proof of my credibility, and indeed, and I don't intend to be causing trouble.
Very well. The king will be expecting you. And he
Very well.
kind of tucks it away in one of his various pockets that he's got. And returns to his post. Almost statue-like, not even acknowledging your existence anymore.
Like one of the guards of the British palace with the fuzzy black hat. Got it.
I like
that's
that,
That's the mental image I have right now. Okay.
Got it. Fuzzy black hat's canon.
Fuzzy black hat, exactly.
Bright red outfit,
Onion
really
Ale is
tall,
canon,
fuzzy black hat.
Oh my
Got holding the butt of the rifle as they march exaggeratedly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Big old
That
chin
exactly.
strap for the big hat thing.
The chin strap.
Yeah, I'm just gonna very casually walk back towards the group and say, well, I've handed over my amulet, and we should have an audience at first light tomorrow. I'm just gonna relay the information.
Okay.
Sounds good. We better check on Kavian and make sure he doesn't drink too much.
Mm-hmm.
We have to
Just
get him
thinking that.
up first light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you guys begin to make your way back to locate Kavian, we are going to pick up with Kavian as you just depart from the group. Now, are you immediately looking for a tavern?
Well, I was thinking while the others went, I did not look for a tavern.
Okay.
I, however,
knew
went
it.
to look for a potion shop.
Okay. So go ahead and roll an investigation check to try to find one.
Natural one.
No,
You find the tavern.
So, in your quest to search for any sort of potion shop or alchemist or anything of the sort, you're not able to find anything quite like it. However, what you do find is a very interesting, almost temple-like building that you come to find out is called the Knights Paladin. Now, in this building, or on the outsides of it, kind of, it's almost got its own, maybe sectioned off plot within the city. You get the idea that it operates independently of any of the city government or so. It's kind of maybe this group or clan or something of the sort that is, welcomed in the city, obviously. They've got their own courtyards and everything that you could imagine, its own, very, very much its own area. And on the outside of it, you see a lot of individuals that appear to be very warrior-esque, very highly trained appearing individuals. Some are taller, some are shorter, some wear heavier armors, and some light. All kinds of different weapons adorn these figures, these people. And after a little bit of studying it, you begin to get the impression that this is some sort of like within the law, within kind of the good quote unquote public image, some sort of warriors guild.
I walk up to one of the people.
Okay.
And I say, hey, excuse me, do you happen to sell any potions?
As the individual turns to face you, you are greeted by a macabre face. It is a macabre female who appears to be late 20s, early 30s maybe. She's got kind of a medium blonde to white color hair. Same eyes as you do. She's wearing a kind of semi-plate medium armor somewhere between light and heavy. She's got 2 cutlasses, one at either side. They are adorned by blues, blacks, and silver colors. This individual appears to be quite up there, I suppose, in these ranks, perhaps. She turns to you and kind of studies you for a second. You can almost see it. It's almost like looking in a mirror. The way that the look that comes upon her face, very much that of what might come upon your face, seeing another macabre in this city. However, after a moment, she speaks up. Potions? Well, we have them, but we don't sell them. Mostly used for our knights here as they're on their various adventures. And who might you be?
I kind of tied up my hair a little bit. My name would be Kavian, Kavian Vanor. What's yours, if I may ask?
Kavian. I can't say I recognize the Vanor name, but I am Folea. Folea Fireborn.
Folea. Beautiful name.
Thank you. She kind of...
I can't say I've heard of the Fireborn either, to be honest.
Well,
it sounds very northern.
We hail from the far west.
That was what I meant. I'd mix them up.
Kavian just starts stuttering. He's so nervous.
Well, do you hang around here often?
Roll a performance check for me.
-2.
Oh no.
10?
Okay. So she gives you this slightly odd look for a second, and then she kind of continues. Well, yeah, I'm the leader here of this of the Vetseal post of the Knights Paladin. Everything you see here is, well, my responsibility.
Well, that must be quite the responsibility. I'm actually leader of a party myself over here. They're about to talk to the king tomorrow.
Oh, really? And do tell me more about this party.
Oh, well, we're a bunch of misfits, really. We're just killing monsters on our way to deliver an important mission to save the war. We're just gonna end it.
Ah, I
Well-
see. You're gonna end the war. Well, now you've piqued my curiosity. How is it exactly you plan to do that?
Just delivering a message, really. A note from a king somewhere else. Or a council, really. There's nothing
Oh,
big.
I see. The humans down south. Interesting. Well, I wish you luck on your journey to deliver this message and end the war. Oh, heroic Cavian. You know what? Should any of you or your group be interested in perhaps some higher training, or perhaps some more adventures to fill your schedule, don't be afraid.
Oh,
Pay us a visit in any of our locations, really. It doesn't have to be here. We operate in a fair handful of cities, but if you ever find yourself in the lands of Eustrea, do seek out the city of Kynor, where our headquarters, our main base of operations, can be found. And find the one that they call Budrol. Budrol, if you're taking notes.
I am, thank you. Budrel.
I will do that. Thank you. And I'll probably return here as well. One day.
I hope to see the day. And she kind of bows for a second and then turns and goes and chases off one of the warrior-like individuals who is doing whatever it is that they're doing.
I leave with a big smile on my face.
Okay.
Aww.
All right.
I'm assuming that was all I had time for, and I'll probably meet up with the party now.
So as you are wandering through the streets after that encounter, not thinking at all about a tavern, but rather just thinking about the encounter and specifically thinking about Philea, you eventually spot the group about 50 feet away. They don't see you. They're just kind of walking about the streets, but you do spot them. And there are, some various crowds of people in between. The streets are still not at their peak kind of level of kind of occupation amongst the people. The sun is mostly set at this point, and night is kind of beginning to set, so everyone's kind of making their way back home and such, but there's a fair amount of people on the streets. What would you like to do?
I would actually like to look for someone on the side of the streets now.
Okay,
Someone who kind of looks like they don't have a lot of money or something.
so you're
struggling.
looking for someone who's a little more poor. Roll
Yes.
an investigation check.
Oh boy. 8.
8. Okay. So, from what you can tell, everybody around you in this general area appears to be about the same in terms of their level of maybe class or wealth or what have you. And the general area you're in does appear to be that of a jarring difference to maybe that around the Citadel specifically. However, even though it's a jarring difference, it's not so much for how poor the area is, but rather just how fancy the kind of citadel area is, if that makes sense. Like, the area you're in is a lot different, but it's still more of a somewhat middle-classy, lower middle-class type of thing.
Is there like any alleyway maybe? Like some very dark
There
spot
are a few alleyways, yeah.
Right.
There's every couple of buildings there's a pretty prominent one.
I'm gonna explore one that's very dark and kind of looks...
Okay, 1 second. The music on stream, this has gone from creepy to full-on battle music, and I don't know why. So let me change the music real quick.
We're still in chill music.
Yeah, we're still quite chill at the moment.
Okay.
It's not happy chill.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
somber chill.
Okay, so repeat what you were gonna do, Kavian.
Going into an alleyway, looking for someone who snuck up money.
Okay, so you enter. Say you see a couple of alleyways just ahead of you, one to your right, one to your left. Which one would you like to go down?
I'll take the right one.
Okay. So you enter the right alleyway, and you can see that it eventually ends in a dead end. It just kind of tucks between a handful of buildings. You see some various kind of containers holding bits and bobs of garbage and various things that were just kind of tossed to the side. It's pretty dirty, especially compared to the main streets. It's definitely where all of the kind of unwanted things end up. And towards the end of the alleyway, you can see what appears to be some sort of individual, kind of cloaked a little bit, kind of just sitting in the corner of the dead end of this alleyway, just kind of leaning their head against a wall. And you can't really make out a face or anything like that. The cloak type thing, or even blanket, you're not entirely sure that they have adorning them, seems pretty roughed up and messy. And you notice that there's a couple of cats that kind of mosey around their feet.
I go towards them.
Okay.
And
As you approach, they kind of shift a little bit. They don't fully like look up at you, but they just kind of, they can hear you coming.
I say, excuse me, would you like to earn some money for an easy job?
As you say that, the two cats that are kind of moseying around, they instantly kind of make their way onto the lap of this person and kind of look at you with this kind of protecting way about them, as to like scare off anyone who might mean for bad things or would have bad intentions. That's the word I'm looking for. As you say that, the cats move into place and the person doesn't move for a second, for a couple moments, and then finally they acknowledge your existence. They look up towards you, and as they look up, the faint light that remains from the sky that just narrowly peers into the alleyway illuminates their face. And in front of you, you see an individual of Ongra descent. This orcish individual appears to be a much older man. If you were to guess, it'd probably be upwards of 60 or 70 maybe. They've got a scraggly gray beard that comes down to pretty far. It comes down to past their neck, just past their neck to kind of their collarbone area. And their face is very roughed up. It's got wear and tear from the many years that this individual has seen. Their skin, of course, showing a faint green. They've got the warrior-esque eyes, the very, very driven, very deep eyes, that of the Ongra, of course. And yeah, you can tell that at this point it is not a cloak that this individual has on, but rather just an accumulation of very dirty and tattered blankets. And they look up at you, and they kind of study your face for a second. What is it you bring forth to me?
100 gold.
And they kind of pause for a second and look down at the cats and kind of motion to the cats, and you're almost surprised at how well trained these cats appear to be. Just motions to them, and they immediately jump off of the lap and they lay down at either side of him, just in the little curled ball that cats like to do, and they just kind of resume cat nap function. And then he looks back up at you, looks past you down the alley, and then looks back up at you again. And why would you offer me so much coin?
I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for myself.
And looks down for a second. Looks back up. And then he manages, or he attempts to get his way, stand up. He kind of leans over, hands on the ground, and kind of pushes himself up. You can hear the faint sound of some bones, joints cracking a little bit. Definitely getting the feel for how old this person is, and they struggle a little bit, but they get themselves up to their feet. And by the time they stand up, they are noticeably shorter than you. Not a surprise, though. The Ongra are the shortest of the various races. He looks up to you, right in the eyes. You're the first honest man I have met in this city. What would you have me do?
I mean, no offense, but I'm not so sure you're up for the task anymore. With your current state, I need
Nonsense.
I need someone to ring the bells at first light in the morning. The bells of the other bells in the city, like if they're under attack, would there be bells ringing?
To signal an attack in the morning.
First light.
Well, that I can do. Might not be bells that you're looking for, but I think there's something that I can make happen.
Good, alright. How about 25 gold now, 75 in the morning? We meet at the same place. Once the job is done.
I can make that work. And as he says that, the blanket he kind of tosses off kind of to the side. And as that happens, you see that he is actually, to your surprise, he has got a weapon at his side. Off of his left hip, he has got what appears to be some sort of standard short sword. But the blanket falls free, and the kind of attire of this older man is made clear. And you can see that although definitely beaten and tattered and not a very high quality, he does dress himself as somebody who knows how to fight, somebody who is seen a lot of fights in their time maybe, and is just always ready. And it kind of takes you aback for a second upon noticing that, but the blanket gets thrown down and he agrees to your request.
I hand him the 25 gold.
Okay. He nods and turns to pick up his blanket that he then kind of throws over his shoulder, and I'm assuming that you're leaving the alley at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. He is just following at a distance until you exit the alley, and then he takes the opposite turn that you do to remove himself from that area. At this point, I'll need you to make another investigation check to see if you can see the group.
Oh boy. 12? It gets better every time.
Okay, so as you exit the alley, you just have the feeling that you could probably find them if you go to the right. So you take the right-hand turn out of the alley, back onto the road, and travel for a little bit through the various groups that are waning out, becoming thinner and thinner, these crowds of people, all returning home. Until eventually, you're able to spot the group around the general area of where you all split up from initially. And at this point, they're probably 40 or so feet away, but, within shouting distance.
I walk up to them and
Okay. So as you approach, Pipra, you're gonna notice a familiar you're gonna notice some familiar footsteps in your own feet, vibration sensing feet, approaching from behind.
Okay. I'll turn around.
Just out of curiosity, does this catch you off guard, Kavian?
Yes, very.
Okay, just curious.
Very off guard. Oh, you saw me. I got lost. I couldn't find a place to stay. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I did too. If it wasn't for Pipra herself, I would be somewhere down the road by now. Shame about the tavern, but we'll find one together, I believe.
I'm not leading this time.
So what did you do while we were in there?
I got lost. I walked around the streets, met a couple people, very nice people in the city.
No one gave you a hard time?
No, a good time really. I met another macabre.
real good time.
Very good time. Very good time. Wow.
You met another macabre.
Yes, I didn't think I'd find one in here. They work for some Knights Guild.
Oh.
Knights Guild.
And they were offering us a job once we're done here.
Does anyone want to roll a history check on what Kavian just said?
Let me go ahead and do exactly that.
Yeah, let me try my +7.
+1 history. Oh, that was a good roll. That's a 5.
I'm not a whole lot better.
Oh no.
10.
I'll roll. Hold on. I got a 17.
Hey, oh.
17?
I don't know what you guys.
So, as far as Hera is concerned, you're gonna take what Kavian says like verbatim, word for word. You're excited about this place called the Knights Guild, specifically,
Guild.
quote unquote.
The Knights Guild.
As for Pipra, you kind of interpret it a little more realistically, like, you know, maybe it's not exactly that, but, you know, generally some kind of area with knights. And as for Darcy's, you are aware of the Knights Paladin, as it's called. It is a kind of faction, a guild, if you will, of highly trained warriors, that noble warriors as well. They very much operate within the confines of the law, generally speaking, of what people might view as the quote-unquote light or good side of things. Anyone who manages to take up ranks amongst the Knights Paladin are often referred to as, or revered as, heroes and noble warriors, those of high stature and reputation for the good. And they have a fairly decent presence within Ithaca, specifically in 2 areas. Here in Vetziel, which you're less familiar with because you are from the east of Ithaca, and more near to you, the city of Aurora.
Oh, this one I know.
And I assume you just relay this to the rest of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you mean knights? Noble knights? Noble is in the very literal sense of coming from a bloodline of nobility and of some predicate? Oh my god.
Predecessor?
You're going to know this, and what Hera's asking you, Darcy's, you're going to know to not be true. Noble not as in blood, noble as in heroic deeds and a...
So no need to steal their cutlery.
That's what I was going to ask.
Noble as in...
I know Hera.
Noble as in good guy, basically.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Okay.
not noble as in born noble, but noble as in the good guys. in
Well,
general.
speaking of nobles, and I'm gonna see about my 3 spoons now. What price do you think I could fetch for these?
Hopefully a good one.
Hopefully a good one indeed.
So the macabre must be
By the way, feel free
quite
to...
noble.
Anyone feel
Like
free
a
to
warrior.
feel free to roll a perception check on what Hera might get for those spoons, price wise.
Let me have a look myself.
I'll
Percent
roll that
plus
one.
0, so.
I rolled a 4.
Oh my
Eight,
bad roll that.
22. I know the exact price of these spoons.
You're gonna. It's just gonna hit you. It just randomly and just very specifically in your mind, Pipra. It's just gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. The specific amount of 6 gold and 6 silver pieces enters your mind for all three. For all three.
Here, can I see those?
Of course. I'm gonna pass the 3 spoons over.
I'm gonna like hold them and be like about 6 gold and 6 silver, I'd say. For the lot.
So that would be 2 gold and 2 silver per spoon.
Sell them to me, 10 gold, take it or leave it.
What do you
I
need
give the
spoons
3
for?
spoons. I give the 3 spoons to Kavian in exchange for 10 gold.
Okay. You can feel free to add to your inventory at this point. You can just add it to your inventory, actually, Kavian. Your 3 silver spoons. Pristine silver spoons.
They are pristine, yes.
Is there? I don't know if I need to roll anything, but can I just kind of like look at Kavian and sense that there's kind of like a happiness to him, maybe?
Aww.
And
Can we insight check him to figure
Yeah,
out if the
yeah.
macabre was a girl? Is that why he's smiling? Why is he
I mean,
smiling?
you-
Maybe he
I
never
mean-
smiles.
You
Let
would
me
have,
see if we can
you
do the
would've-
same mockery we did in the group chat.
for the insight check, you would have had to have done that when he was speaking. However, it is.
Thought about it.
I mean, Kavian, feel free to roll a stealth check to hide it, but
Oh boy.
I feel like it's pretty clear.
Actually got a +6.
Oh, okay.
21.
Okay. So,
All right.
yeah, I mean,
Kavian's
it's
subtle about it.
he's subtle about it.
so is there anything else about this other macabre, Kavian, that you would like? Like, do you want to potentially see them again? Like, are we going to?
You
yes,
you
I thought that
mentioned
was
a
what we all
We
job.
can
wanted.
we can certainly after this job's done see about associating ourselves with this Knights Guild. Knights Guild. That could be interesting.
Still on the Knights Guild thing. I love
Still
it.
on the Knights Guild. Doing this triple.
Well, once we deliver the message to the king and do our best to stop the war, I'm sure that you will be considered quite noble to join your macabre brothers in this knight's paladin.
Knights Paladin.
It sounds nice to join them. I mean, I wouldn't leave you guys, of course, but we're just a job or two over there.
Possibly. So won't we have
meeting
to
new
return to
people.
Maritea to receive the rest of our gold?
Indeed, yes. If we're to go back to Maritea, then I believe myself and especially Tormin would have some some dealings with the Incurio on our way back. So it seems like the most sensible thing to do.
Perhaps we could return to one of their locations after.
I believe that would be sensible.
Well, the tavern.
To the tavern, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm fine to go just straight there. Oh well, wherever it may be.
All right.
Not that I would know.
Who is gonna roll an investigation check?
I'll go ahead and investigation.
Can I
I will
aid?
too.
Whoa! It's an 11. It's not it's
Oh, it
not a
was a
bad
4.
roll this time.
14.
Okay.
I'm the lost one this time.
6.
Okay. So you all find yourselves fairly lost, except for Pipra, who you notice is just kind of sniffing it out almost. As you guys just kind of follow Pipra as she walks with the most purpose, and you guys are just looking around and confused and not really sure, but you're following Pipra because she seems confident. And eventually,
I smell potatoes.
My favorite.
eventually,
That was the first thing you did in the tavern the other day as well.
eventually you make your way to what very clearly appears to be a tavern, and hanging In front of it is a sign that reads Elven Skies Tavern. And you can hear the bustling sounds from within as it is peak tavern time of day.
Tavern time. All right. Are we ready to enter then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to
No
enter in the
cask
most
of ale this time.
Yes, I would like to enter in the most flamboyant way possible, just door swinging open. Good evening, bartender. I would like a gargantuan mug of your finest ale.
Oh,
Roll a performance check.
Performance check incoming. If it helps, I'm also going to prestidigitation myself some sparks as I go through the door.
Okay.
Okay. Performance check. It's going to be a 15.
Okay. So, as the door barges open and some sparks go flying, and you say what you say, every single individual in this tavern falls silent, and they all look at you, bartender included. And there is this moment of a few seconds where it is just this dead stare, and it is as silent as it could possibly be. Like, you hear things from the outside because it's so quiet in here. And then... all of a sudden, right when you're about to speak up, everyone, all the patrons, they just kind of raise all their mugs and they just, and everyone just starts shouting and getting all excited and everything. And then the bartender shuffles their way through all of the crowds to greet the group. And as this individual approaches you guys, you see a Dukaze woman approaching. She appears to be middle-aged or so, not too sure exactly. But this individual has lighter hair, like a pretty light blonde hair. And she appears fairly hardy, I would say. I mean, running a tavern with tavern individuals, it'll do that to you.
Tavern individuals.
And she approaches with some various just things about her. She's got like a small sack of you're not sure what, but it's kind of slung over her shoulder, and it's kind of held in place within like part of her outfit. It's kind of just held there, and so she can like quickly remove it or something. You get the idea. And she's carrying some mugs and stuff. What could I get you, fine travelers, this evening?
Travelers, indeed. Yes, we're looking for some rest and relaxation here at your wonderful tavern. I wonder if you could provide us, indeed, with a mug about, and I hold up my hands about shoulder width apart, and I'm 6'4". This is quite a width. And I go, about this wide and about this deep, heads deep. And I'm looking for it filled with your finest ale for this gentleman here, and I point towards Kavian.
I won't be having anything tonight. I need to get some rest.
Nonsense, I pat him on the back. We have just come from a long, long journey, and some celebration is in order.
Ah, well, I see you've been to Sin. Fans of Mugnir, are ya? Unfortunately,
we are Mugnir.
Unfortunately, we've got no such mug here. It is a one-of-a-kind, and while I would love to have it here, let me tell you, best I can do is, and she kind of turns, and then she turns, and at the nearest table, there's this really hardy-looking dude who is just drinking this ale, just downing it, like actually chugging it. But it's a fairly big mug, and she takes it out of his hands and just kind of throws the ale over the side and just kind of splashes, and she kind of shows you guys. She's like, this is the best we got. And you can see that it's if you took a normal mug and you just like times it by 2, it's not crazy, but. And as she does that, the guy who is drinking just kind of and looks up and then sees it was her, and then quickly looks back down at the table and just to the other people, like noticing who it was. And you do all notice that.
Okay, she has her stuff together. Understood. That will do very nicely. And I see you are familiar with our work then. Have you heard then of the delicacy we call an ale-sicle?
An ale-sicle? I can't say I've...
Allow me to demonstrate. I'm going to do the thing.
Take it away.
Okay. So you do the
I'll
thing.
go over to Dude's Cup and then like bring out a ale pop, just frozen, glistening ale.
Prestidigitation to give some sparks around it as though there's some kind of advanced magic happening.
And at the individual you do this to, the individual's mug you do this to, that specific individual, at seeing this, gets this look of horror on their face, and they run out of the tavern.
Oh, no.
But for the most part, the rest of them are all kind of watching in awe, and they are pretty excited at this, and just kind of like, whoa, wow, how do you do? I've never seen anything like that. And
So,
the bartender's
skill,
watching.
anybody?
The bartender watches this impressed as everyone just kind of starts clamoring, and they all want one now. They all want the ale sickle, and the bartender's just kind of watching this scene and just has this look on her face of like, wow. Like, you get the idea she doesn't get impressed often, but
I like how we're showing ale pops, ale sickles into a region in the north that's cold,
I think it's more the shock
and it's
of
more
immediate-
popular than it was in the south.
well, I mean, they already know about icicles a lot better, so maybe it just strikes home a little better.
It's the homely appeal, exactly.
Yeah.
A group of adventurers knowing and being familiar with a local tradition. I mean, yeah, I can see the appeal there. I can see the appeal. It's like when a performing band comes to your city and goes, "Favorite city on the planet, let's go."
Yeah.
It's like that.
All right.
All right. Well, Miss Bartender, your name, I didn't catch it.
You can call me, and don't worry, everyone gets it wrong, Avsra.
Abstra.
A-V-S-Y-R-A.
Avsyra.
Thank you very much. Well, Miss Avstra, me and my party would require lodgings as well. Do you happen to have accommodation for the party present?
Well, that's the business that I am in, and boy, do I have some rooms
Glad
for
to
you.
hear it. Very glad to hear it. How much will the rooms for the lot of us set us back for a night?
1 room for each of you.
Yes, if that's feasible.
4 rooms, and she kind of looks over you guys. 4 rooms, 4 gold pieces, 1 each.
4 gold pieces.
I put the 4 on the table and give Theo the other 4 that she gave me earlier.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, thank you very much, Kavian.
All right.
Thanks, Kavian.
I'm
You
going to
sweetie
Thank
pie.
you.
It's Hera's gold, not mine.
But a kind gesture nonetheless.
Very kind of you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Don't make me take it back.
It's getting too mushy in here.
Well, will we be requiring dinner and accommodations? Well, accommodations provided. Will we be requiring dinner, my friends?
I would love some potatoes if you got any here, Miss.
Avstra.
I'm gonna purposely mispronounce
Mhm.
it
Oh.
because she said that everybody
Yeah.
gets it wrong, and I'm gonna kind of say it. Let me look at the spelling of it again. Hold on. We're gonna say ab with a B, abstra, ABSTRA, abstra.
She's
like
gonna
abstract.
kind of look over at you with this look that you didn't expect on her face, and it's this look of like surprise. She's gonna look at you and say, Abstra. Only my daughter calls me Abstra. Interesting. Yes, we've got some potatoes.
Oh, lovely. I'll take a plate of potatoes, please.
My friend here prefers meat. What do you have of a more carnivorous diet? I'm pointing towards Kavian.
Well, be easier to ask what you like.
Ooh. Go ahead and state your preference, my friend.
Well, you know that monster we killed earlier? I
Oh, the
still have
cheese,
it
yes.
meat. Would you guys
Oh.
like to cook it?
Well, now that's a
Just wait,
request
hold on a minute.
we don't
Are
get
you
very
carrying
often.
This meat around?
I'm carrying its scales so that I can put it on my armor later.
It's
She's-
meat, you just
She's
gotta,
straight
like,
up
She's
brought-
gonna reach her hands out
brought
for the
steak to be
meat.
picked.
She's
Oh
gonna.
Give
my
them all 3
gosh.
slices.
What's that?
I give them all 3 slices.
Okay, so she takes all 3 slices and she brings this raw meat up and just kind of gives it a good sniff. Just kind of sniffs it a little bit. Even at one point, kind of sticks the tongue out and just kind of gets a little taste for a second. And then she kind of does the 9,000 taste buds, the and she kind of looks up to the ceiling. And she looks back at you guys. Is this what I think it is?
It is.
Freshly killed this morning. It's, well, I point towards the wound on my arm and the wound on Darcy's. Gave us quite a fight for it as well.
I see. And she's going to turn and she calls over to somebody. You're not sure who, but you figure it's maybe some sort of employee or assistant or sorts. And she calls out, "Hey, ale's on the house for these ones." And she goes back there with the meat to presumably cook it.
Mm.
You're too kind. You're very kind.
I hope it tastes good.
Certainly.
Pippa is not going to drink, but she's going to still accept the ale, any ale past her, and just every time Hera's cup is low, I'm going to, as she looks away, pour some more. 'Cause I didn't want to seem rude by not accepting.
Hera's going to be on the floor.
I'm gonna have to do some constitution saves. All right.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just do it to anyone's cup,
Okay.
really. My hair's on it next to
Okay, so would you guys like to find a table?
Yes.
Absolutely, yes. Let's go ahead and find a table, shall we?
You okay? You are, after a little bit, I'm not going to have you roll or anything, but most of them are full. You're able to find one eventually. And it's more towards the center of the room.
Okay.
As a group who was there kind of gets up and leaves, and it kind of opens up for you guys. There's various tables around you. You hear the various whispers and shouts and the various noises of people talking and gambling and drinking and everything that you could probably, everything you could possibly imagine in the tavern. Let me actually cue the tavern music. There we go.
Oh, let me do the same.
Music.
Let me go
As
ahead and do the same.
well, I would like to, like, just as I go to get more cups of ale or just up for something, I would like to go and ask the bartender if she's heard the name Volmar.
Okay, so is that you telling the group, or have you gotten up at this point?
It's just as I'm up, I don't really tell them because
Okay.
it's just inquiring. It's not anything big.
So as you get up, you don't see the familiar face of Avsra out and about currently, but you can hear the various sounds of the sizzles and whatnot from the back. And I mean, do with that information as you will.
I'll just kind of wait at the bar for her to return.
Okay, just a moment.
This is very peppy music.
I know I've got like an hour and a half of tavern music and about 40 minutes of light combat, so I don't know what my priorities are. I'm just expecting everyone to spend more time in taverns than fighting.
Listen, we're here for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly, there we
In
go.
the case of the previous thing Thursday, you both got tavern and fighting.
Oh yeah,
Yes, we
we
did.
got both of them, yeah. I don't know, I need to go ahead and curate myself some more playlists, though. I was not expecting to need creepy this early in. I do promise I will make use of it.
Cody, did you say that this bartender was Dukaze?
Yes.
Okay.
Dukaze, blonde hair, and hardier.
Okay.
I just need to find my note real quick on.
Well, while we're waiting, I I feel I should divulge some important information about myself to you guys. You'll no doubt be aware there is one by the name of Iris looking for me, yes? Certainly, most of you more than others. Pepra, I believe we rescued them from this individual, but
Indeed.
yes. I believe I got midway through explaining before we continued our journey, but the individual in question used to be a friend of mine, Iris Renfever. We worked together for some time in my past. We were friends from when I was but a young girl, up until some year and a half, 2 years ago. Before this point, I did not go by the name Hera Goldcretian. The name I went by is Glenhera Serif. This is the name I was
again?
born with.
One more
Glenhera
time?
Serif. I'll type it if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah, me good. Just write that on a napkin here.
I got a G.
There you go. Glenhera Serif. It's not the name I go by anymore, but I tell you this so that if I am referred to it as such, you'll know that it's no stranger, it's no randomer they talk of. In any case, I have a, well, shall we say, storied history with this woman. I used to consider her a friend, and she's a very intelligent and powerful woman, but not so, I would say, friendly anymore. She seems to value coin over alliance.
Hmm.
Now, of her, I know not her nature anymore, which is unfortunate. I wish I could tell you more. I truly do. Although, I point to my eye, she has this on the opposite end. An old symbol of our sistership, actually, but one since broken.
And with that, Pipra, as you are on your quest to search for the bartender Avstra, eventually you're able to spot her in the back and momentarily make eye contact. Do you use this opportunity?
Yes. I'll try and summon her.
Okay, how would you like to do that?
Seconds. Avstra, do you have a moment?
Always have a moment. And she walks out from the back and kind of wipes her hands on a little apron that she threw on, and you have her full attention.
I was wondering if you've perhaps heard the name Volmar.
Volmar! Well, if that isn't our local enchanter, you can find his place. And she kind of looks up towards the ceiling again, kind of gives this pondering look. I believe it is in the city opposite the Citadel from where we are now. The Citadel, of course, being in the center of the city. She didn't say that, but I'm just reminding you that. He is.
Am I in earshot of this?
I would say no. However, if you saw Pippa get up, which you did, and if you were trying specifically to listen in, you could roll a perception check.
Oh no, I was just going to shout out probably the direction I was going.
Oh. So, as you're writing this down, she's going to continue. Old Volmar is quite renowned around these parts. He's probably the best at what he does, at least in all of our lands here in Ithaca. He's been doing it for quite some time now.
Yes, I've heard through our travels of his reputation and fame.
Of your travels. Where have you been traveling, might I ask?
We came from the south.
The south? Interesting. And I'm sure the war had to have given you trouble.
It wasn't easy to travel through the lands, but we
Mm.
made it here in one piece.
That you did. And a drink to that I could well make. Well, I should get back to cooking.
Thank you for your assistance.
Yeah.
I'll
Welcome
just
back, Pipra.
Walk back to the table. Here's.
I'm just sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna set down an ale in front of her.
Oh, thank you very much. And I kind of down it.
Kavian, how is your ale? Do you need a refill as well?
Yeah, I could probably do with a refill. Thank you.
I dumped mine into Kavian.
Okay. At this point, Kavian and Hera, roll your first Constitution save.
Okay, Constitution save. Yeah, that'll do. That's a 19.
Okay.
8.
Okay. You are both fine for now.
For now.
Okay.
Told me an 8 passed.
On the first one.
Alright.
I rolled a 5 for that kind of thing on mine, or at least for onion ale.
Oh,
Anyway.
true.
Onion ale.
Potent. Okay.
So I'm just gonna quickly explain what I explained to the rest of the group to Pippa as well, making sure she was in the know about it, but she'd probably know more because we traveled together to try and get the rest of the party rescued. I'm just gonna explain original name Glenn Hera Seraph, and that Iris Wren Fever used to be a friend of mine. Cannot be trusted anymore.
Got it.
Okay.
Is the go ahead.
I was gonna ask how late it was.
Oh, okay.
It is, the sun is fully set. It is, I guess it depends on what time the sun sets for you, but it'd be the equivalent of roughly 10:30, 11 p.m.
So this
Okay.
dude wouldn't probably be awake. He old.
His shop wouldn't be open, that's for sure.
Got it.
Would you say that the barkeep, that Abstra, is just kind of like, is she like mainly in the back, or can we like see her?
Right now, she's mainly in the back, and you can't really see her.
Oh, okay. I'd like to just sip my drink.
Okay.
Because I don't like ale. So she's just slowly sipping it, just trying to like get it. She's more of a fruit wine kind of gal.
I get it.
All right.
Trying to think what Pippa will do. Are there any like? Probably not, but we'll see. Is there anything like light reading, like any newspapers or books around in the tavern?
And not that you can see. There are just the accumulation of patrons who are shouting, talking, drinking, gambling. There's a lot of gambling going on, and
Okay.
such like that.
Ah, Pipra, I've been meaning to ask you. Your studies as a wizard. Do you think perhaps we could study together? I've been attempting to broaden my horizons, and although I demonstrate prestidigitation again, my magic is powerful. It's not very good outside of, well, smiting foes, as you might have seen.
Ah,
I'm looking to
of
broaden my
course.
horizons.
I did learn a new spell recently, actually.
As did I. Please hold a second, and I kind of like bring out a little notepad.
It's of the non-destructive variety.
Oh, as did I.
Uh,
I am
if we
going.
learn this air spell.
I know. Let's see this. Shall we on the count of 3?
Well, hang on.
I believe since this isn't the natural magic that I use, I won't be at risk of causing any chaos.
I'm gonna reach out for Darcy's hand and just kind of like towards her ripped clothes, like up her sleeve and stuff. I'm going to use mending and get it to repair itself.
Okay.
Quite handy.
Nice.
I decided this might be something helpful to know since We tend to rather scuff up our clothing.
No lie, no lie. I have, well, the spell I have learned is of a different nature. It's going to take me a couple of minutes to concentrate on this to cast it. I'm not a natural magician like Pipra is, so it's a ritual that I'm casting here. I'm gonna like remain silent for just a second, like eyes closed, concentrating. A couple of hand movements, and then a snap of my fingers, and on my shoulder, a kind of glowing blue-looking ferret is just going to appear from underneath my hair. A familiar.
Oh, wow.
That's find familiar with the spell there.
Is that a ferret in my tavern? And as you say that, after passing the minutes it took, the bartender is now there with some various plates of food and such, just kind of looking at the table, and it doesn't have this angry look on her face, but more of this kind of joking tone as she sets down the food.
A magical one, nonetheless.
I see. Well, magic is something we are all too familiar with here. Carry on. And she
Very well.
heads on back, and you now all have your food at the table.
While
Cool.
she was at the table, I wanted to just look at her,
Mhm.
like just kind of like not like staring at her in
Mhm.
like a rude way, but like definitely like keeping like watching her and like just kind of paying attention to her features and her like
Is there something specific you're looking for?
I'm just trying to see if I recognize
Okay,
her.
roll a perception check.
Perception +3, don't let me down.
Let's go.
16.
Nice.
You are confident in that you eventually, while she looks a little familiar, you don't know her or recognize her.
Okay.
Just maybe looks like somebody you know.
Okay.
Um,
And then eat my potatoes.
I would like to get ready for this one. I'm going to take like a piece of paper or something I see around and take a little just anything like small, and I'm gonna cast light on it and roll it in the paper so it's like funneled light, and I'm going to move the little dot of light around to get the ferret's attention and just have it like go across the table.
It's gonna look, and it's gonna kind of scurry off of my shoulder down my arm, and it's just gonna kind of hide behind the mugs of ale as it tries to come closer, like without being seen.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna like laser dot it in front of me so I can try and pet it.
So just so everyone at the table is aware, there is now this magical ferret running on the table in between your plates of food and chasing this light.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna eat my potatoes. Like not
Okay.
a care in the world. Like
I've
this
already
little ferret
finished my
is
food.
not-
My plate's
At
off
one
to the
point,
side,
the
I'm playing
ferret
with
is
the
gonna. At one point, the ferret's gonna run up to Darcy's plate and grab a little chunk of potato and scurry off.
And I'm fine. I'm just gonna let it go.
Okay. All right.
Actually, I'll take another potato off my plate and just set it on the table
Okay.
and keep eating so that the ferret can come back and eat that one.
It eventually does come back for it after it eats the first chunk.
You know
Now-
Darcy's.
Just,
I've not yet figured out a name for the little guy.
You definitely should.
And I'm just gonna like go through a bunch of names. I'm gonna like just call it different things as it comes up. I'm gonna go Danny, James, and then eventually go Winston.
Oh,
This is Winston the ferret.
jeez.
It's Winston the ferret.
Oh my
oh,
gosh.
Winston.
Okay. All right.
Winston, you say? That's a lovely name.
Winston the
Perfect name. Winston the ferret, and I
Winston the not a weasel.
hold my like now it's like half empty glass of nasty ale, and I say to Winston the ferret.
I do the same, and I cheers your cup.
I'm gonna give Winston some of my ale.
There's now a drunk ferret. Oh, actually, it has its own stat block, so it's meant to. It has to roll a Constitution against that, doesn't it?
Oh my god.
I mean, I need to look up the stat block for a ferret now.
Yep. Look it up and roll a Constitution save.
Okay.
You just
I
killed a
think
ferret.
it's under
Oh my
that.
god.
Yeah.
Will not have killed the ferret, only make the ferret slightly drunk.
I think this has to be a flavored weasel.
Yeah,
But
that'll work.
okay. So it has a Constitution of 8, so I'm just going to roll a flat d20 minus 1. It rolled a 15.
Okay. It is
This
fine.
ferret can
It is just-
hold its liquor.
It is just
This-
licking it up. And
This ferret is more heavyweight than Pipra.
Yeah.
it's true. It's true, actually.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Which is just funny in general. My constitution is 13
Oh,
plus
no.
1.
So you guys eat up your food and drink your drinks. Is there anything else before you head to bed?
No,
Just gonna be watching the group completely sober.
Okay. Well, with that then, you are all able to get to sleep and take a long rest.
Long rest, let's go.
Before I go to sleep.
What's that?
Before we go to sleep,
Mhm.
I want to go down to the tavern alone when everyone else has left.
Okay. All right. So you
And
return to the tavern.
I'm gonna ask the keep if are they still working?
Most of the patrons have cleared out, but Avstra is still there.
Okay. Do you have any your finest wine? Just any sort of wine, a whole bottle of it.
Some wine? Yeah. What sort of wines are you interested in?
Your finest one.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a moment. And she scurries off to the back and brings out this kind of corked glass that is it's fairly standard in terms of wines and in terms of the size of it and such. And it's
Can I have a
almost
question real quick?
yeah.
Would Pipra have felt the familiar movements of Kavian back down the hall?
Depends if Kavian went down shortly after or a long time after.
Very shortly after. I didn't wait long.
You would know that Kavian went towards the stairs, but as soon as Kavian started stepping down the stairs, you lose that feeling. Because it's no longer the same exact surface.
Before I long rest, I'm curious as to what he's doing. I would like to cast invisibility and follow.
Ooh.
Okay. So you are able to follow. Roll a stealth check with advantage. Kavian, what's your passive perception again?
12.
Okay.
23.
Okay. So you are hidden and seeing this happen. So the barkeep comes back out, and it's kind of like this mix of a kind of wine, like a full glass bottle, but it also has like a handle, almost like a jug, some kind of hybrid of the two. She brings it out, and she hands it to you, Kavian, and you can see it's this kind of like deep purple kind of color. And she says, "We've only got the one in stock. It doesn't get purchased very often, so we usually have one on hand, but it comes all the way from the western coasts of Blutora. It's traveled quite a long way, and I've never had it before, a little too expensive for my tastes, but from what I hear, it's you either love it or you hate it. There's some connoisseurs of it, but other people don't find it worth it.
It'll do. What's the price?
It will be 25 gold pieces.
25. It's a deal.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I hope you enjoy it."
Thank you.
And she's going to turn to cleaning the table some more.
I'm now gonna go over to. I'm gonna knock on Hera's door.
Okay.
Yes, hello.
Can I come in?
Of course you can, yes.
And I close the door behind, and
Are you going to attempt to squeeze in there, Pipra?
Yes.
Okay, so roll a stealth check, but I'll say your advantage goes away because you're trying to finagle in there so on such short notice.
12.
Okay, so you are just able to slip in right before Kavian reaches back and closes the door again. And it was close, and you know it was close, and you almost got yourself caught. But you're in there.
Hera, tomorrow.
Hello, Kavian, yes. What's up?
I don't really know how to say this, but whatever happens, I need you to not be at my side.
Not be at your side. We've been friends, haven't we?
I know we have, and it's for your own sake, and I trust you. I trust all of you. You've
Kavian,
been
I
with
trust
me, and
you.
you've saved my life, but I need you to trust me. Don't fight for me. Don't be at my side tomorrow.
Kavian, is this something I can help with? Is this something to do with the Knights? What was it? The Knights Guild?
No, it
No?
is
Okay.
something different, and I can't explain because I fear you'll stop me, and I don't want you to stop me.
Kavian, I can't say I'm encouraged by this, but stay safe, please. Make sure that this isn't a goodbye. You're a dear friend to me, Kavian.
Shouldn't be. But just, do you promise? You
I
need.
trust you. Okay. Don't get yourself into trouble, whatever you do. I'm assuming you of all people can keep yourself safe, whatever people you are dealing with, whatever the nature of this. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
I just
I'll
go in
leave
and
the
I try and hug him.
I give a hug back.
A hug out of Kavian, that's how you know it's serious.
I would just like to say that the music playing in the background is like sad music, and this is with the music. This is really deep.
It's so not sad on our end.
We got like tavern
Yeah. We've got tavern music.
Anyway,
Wow.
Yeah, I'll leave and go back to my room.
okay.
And
I
got
still
2 more
follow
people.
it.
into Kavian's room.
Yep.
Okay.
You have like an hour to get out of there.
Okay. Roll another stealth check, this time with advantage again.
That's a 21 for the first one.
Okay.
21 is my roll.
Okay. You're without a problem, without issue.
Does he do anything sus?
Oh, I do. I open a bottle of wine
Wine.
and I pour in a potion of poison that I found a long time ago.
Okay. All right.
And if I stack 3 poison bottles in there, will it be 3 times as more powerful?
It's it'll be more powerful, yeah.
I dump all 3 of them. I'll empty some wine if I need to. I
Okay.
dump all 3 poison bottles.
Okay.
And then I take my dagger, and I'm gonna kind of file off the kind of cross section that it has. The 2 sides that kind of sticks out. I'm gonna file those off with my hand axe.
Okay.
And I hide it in my left boot, and that's it.
Okay. All right. You're just observing this, but not doing anything yet, Pipra?
Not yet.
Okay. Well,
I'm waiting till he falls asleep.
how long does your invisibility last?
Up to an hour.
Okay. I will say, since the moment you cast it, it's been about 20 minutes.
Okay.
So you've got 40 left.
And I had a poison potion before, so I recognized it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did he pour the wine out into like a cup or something? The bit to
I just laid on the
make
floor.
room right on the floor. All right.
All right. Well, is there anything
Uh-huh.
else Kavian's going to do before heading to sleep?
No, I'm going to sleep now.
Okay. So how long are you going to wait, Pipra, before you do anything to try and see if he's
As
asleep?
soon as Lee's like turned over and asleep, I'd like to take the bottle.
Well, what I'm saying is you don't know exactly when he falls asleep, so how long are you willing to wait?
History check. How fast did Kavian fall asleep whenever we were camped out that one time? Because the rest of the time we've always been separate rooms. 21. When did he fall asleep?
Nice.
That one very specific instance. It was standard, like 10, 15 minutes.
Alright, so he's a dude. Falls asleep quickly.
I say, yeah, I don't fall
And I
asleep
wait
that fast.
15 minutes. Yeah, like literally I always fall asleep like an hour after trying
Yeah.
to.
At least.
Uh-huh.
I roll a constitution to see when I fall asleep.
Yeah, go for it.
6.
You are
And hit the pillow out.
okay. So I know when Kavian falls asleep. How long are you waiting? What's your final answer, Pipra, before you act? You've got 40 minutes left.
Oh wait, 20.
Okay. What would you like to do?
I would like to take the bottle
Mhm.
very quietly shape water since it's a liquid.
Mhm.
Pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a pitcher or water of anything?
Not that you can see.
Um, hold it floating, basically. Um, I don't have 2 seconds. Would you allow me to use mending to like separate the poison, basically? Repair the the liquid?
That no, would
I
not
didn't
go.
figure.
Worth a shot.
While you're thinking, if you want to go,
Can I restore health the liquid?
no. While you're thinking, if you want to go
Alright.
ahead and roll your stealth check for this.
Okay. Okay, then my stealth is 23. I have 2 health potions on me. I'm just gonna get rid of the bad stuff and just pour in the health potions.
How exactly do you plan on getting rid of the bad stuff? Like you're getting
The
rid of
window in the room?
the wine and the poison and everything that's in the jug?
Yes, because someone wouldn't let me keep any wine.
Okay. And you're gonna pour it out the window?
Not pour as in loudly. I'm going to float it down
Okay.
with shape water.
And you plan to replace what's in the bottle, now that the bottle's empty, with just 2 health potions.
I will shape water be poured out on the ground back into the bottle. Slightly dirty, but you know. So, dirty wine, health potions, back of the bottle. That is what I will do.
So, upon putting everything back in there, you start pouring the first health potion, but it's gonna overflow.
Well, I didn't know you poured out that much. Just 1 health potion then.
You can't fit a full one. You're gonna have to empty some to make room for it, just like he had to empty some to make room for the poisons.
Well then, I just put in however much I need into there and then the health potion.
So you're only putting how much will fit, or dumping out?
Only how
and making
much
room?
will fit.
Okay.
So there's still a wine stain on the ground.
Okay. Go ahead and remove 1 health potion from your inventory, just because you won't have enough for it to be useful. And also, just cave in, make sure you got rid of the poisons.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty sure I just verbally knew I had them in there, so let me add 1 health potion to my inventory.
And is that all you're doing at this point, Pepra?
Yes. I will escape out the open window, go back through the tavern up the hall, and then back into my room. Then while I release the invisibility, long rest.
Okay, first, roll an acrobatics check.
I'm gonna roll with my actual dice. I don't trust it. 16.
Okay. You are able to escape out the window. Don't injure yourself. And you get back to your bed, and you may now take a long rest. As for the rest of you as well, if you haven't already. And right before you all awake, Cavian. Suddenly you find yourself in a familiar sight. You are standing in the entryway to the city of Vetziel. The entryway that you were standing in not long before as the group first entered the city. But unlike what you remember from standing in that entryway, the scene laid out in front of you is that of pure chaos. The buildings that line the city streets are, many of which in ruin. Some are in a blazing fire with smoke that reaches up and fills the sky above on the already gloomy day. You see the people of the city running about and screaming in panic and terror. You see a couple of horses from the stables kind of get scared and they start to run off. Various guards that are atop the walls and patrolling the streets are firing arrows and clashing blades with figures that you can't make out. You just can't see for whatever reason. They appear as these kind of apparitions, these shades, these almost blurs in your vision. You hear the distant sound of loud looming bells clanging in the distance, and the sounds of fires roaring. You eventually hear a loud crack, and up at the Cloudborn Citadel, one of the tallest towers falls to the ground and lands on a clump of buildings, and a bunch of dust fills up the city streets, completely dimming the vision of the scene. As you hear a couple more screams, and you snap awake.
Dream sequence.
Oh boy. Huh. Well, I get up immediately, and well, is it still like very, very early in the morning?
As you wake up, through the window, you can see that it is very much dawn. The sun hasn't fully risen. It is early morning.
All right.
That being the case, it's about time that I'm getting awake as well.
You will all
Or the
be
rest of the
about waking up around this time.
I'm gonna be so sus of Kavian this morning.
I'm gonna like kind of be concerned for Kavian. I didn't roll any insight, but from what I heard, it seems like they're gonna do something dangerous, and I'm kind of like looking out for them.
Okay.
And I'm
Well-
just completely unaware.
We'll start with
and a little
Kavian.
hungry.
We'll start with Kavian.
I will do something later after this.
I just say to everyone after we're knocking on the doors and everyone is awake that we should just go immediately. We were supposed to meet them in the morning. The sun is already out. We should just take some food and go with it. We shouldn't eat here.
If you say so. Let's away then. I believe the guard still has my medallion. I'll collect that from him.
I'll
As long
go
as
with
we
you.
get some food, I'm good.
All right.
Okay.
Just gonna ask the bartender for some bread to go. Just, can I borrow a loaf of bread? Cheers, thank you.
Oh, for the
Borrow?
poor.
She will oblige, and in your rush, we'll send you on your way out the tavern and into the streets of Vetziel, and you see the familiar sight of the various traders and travelers, citizens, laborers, guards, all the whole lot of people, rather, going about their business in the morning. Vendors are setting up shop and getting ready for the day. The citadel, as before, looms above, off in the distance, in the center of the city, awaiting arrival.
I just want to like pull Hera aside as we're walking.
Yes, what's up?
Whatever Kavian has in mind is nothing good. And then
I
I'm
don't-
going to briefly explain what I witnessed.
Do I hear this?
Oh, this is like we are on our way to the thing. You guys were getting food.
I thought you were all together.
I thought
Yeah.
Hera was
I thought they were
getting.
gonna get
You
food.
guys got food real quick as you were on your way out.
Oh, okay.
I basically
Uh,
just went and used some bread and left as soon as I got the bread. Like, it was a
Okay,
very
okay.
quick. That's
So
fine.
you can try to pull Hera to the side still,
Okay, cool.
but
And I sense that Pipra's
Alright.
trying to pull Hera aside and try to like scoop arms with Kavian as we walk towards the
Oh.
palace.
that depends on if Pipra's trying to get Hera to the side.
This is how I'll play it. Okay.
Okay, let's see it.
Hera, real quick, before we go,
Yes, what's up?
I found some more information out about that enchanter I was looking for, and then
Oh!
that's all Kavian hears as we walk to the side.
Well, I have
tell me
no
about the
interest.
enchanter
I'm
then.
not going to pay attention.
He's not paying attention then.
All right.
So what about the enchanter then?
Well, we can discuss that later. I needed you aside for a moment.
Oh, it's this kind of color. Okay, I'm ready. I'm listening.
Repeat the we can't let Kavian do what he's planning. he's got something up his sleeve and tell the tales of what I did and what I witnessed.
Mhm.
Well, he came into my room as well.
Oh,
He
I was
seemed
there.
Oh, you were? Well, I
It
see.
was
Oh,
quite
well, okay.
stealthy.
Well, no
My
kidding.
people are well trained. Stealth.
Well, yes, you'll know what you said to me then. I'm concerned for him. What did you saw him attempt to poison some wine?
Yes, I replaced the poison with a healing potion, but
Okay, well,
I fear he does not realize what he will cause if he goes through with this plan.
I fear he does. He seemed to, well, his interaction with me was more reminiscent of a goodbye than anything, and I worry for him.
We cannot let him follow through with this plan. What will happen to Valeri?
I wouldn't want to see their poor face. Well, okay. He asked me to not stand close, but if something happens, then I'm sure I can do my best to help. He specifically, well, you heard, he specifically said, do not stand close.
Yes. Well, you don't
Hmm.
have to be the one that's close, but I have a backup case.
Tell me, I might be able to assist.
I have prepared my spell to charm. If the need arises, I will attempt to persuade him out of his plan.
I understand. Well, that's... Hopefully it won't be needed, but... Well... If you have replaced the potion with a health one, then... If that's all that happens, we might be able to sneak it under the radar, but... Well...
It just depends on what he does once he learns his wine is not as he intended.
I certainly hope it's nothing rash. Thank you,
As do
Pipra,
I.
for telling me this.
Darcy's knows nothing of this.
Darcy's knows nothing. Okay.
You just see her like up away, like walk in next to Kavian, kind of just trotting along.
Well, between you and
If
me,
you could attempt to let her know something's coming.
I will do my best. Well, certainly. All right. Hey, Pipra,
Yes,
thank you.
problem. I am. My goal is to end the war, to end the suffering, and end the death of this land
As is mine.
so that peace can return.
As is mine.
I will rejoin the group.
I
Okay.
will follow suit and attempt to just pretty much immediately talk to just immediately talk to Darcy's. I'm just gonna go. Oh, Darcy's.
Mm-hmm.
May I very quickly see that little the umbrellas I gave you. Those ones.
Oh yeah, I
Those
still
ones.
have those, and I
Yeah.
pull them. I pull them up, and I'm like,
Can you
here
wait
they
just a
are.
sec? Yeah. Can you wait just a second? I think I can do something kind of cool with these.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just go to a stop as Pipra and Kavian walk on, so we're trailing behind now, just stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I do take out my staff and I essentially make the three smaller. I think it's three that I've done total. Little umbrellas. I make them into a single large one, fitting for a larger mug, I think.
Oh, how lovely! Oh my gosh! Again, I
And
twirl it around a little bit because it's bigger, but
it's bigger.
it's still small.
And
Wow.
I am so sorry to dampen the mood. I'm kind of looking around. How far away would Pipra and Kavian be now, out of earshot?
If you're intending for them to be far enough away, then they're far enough
I
away.
am intending, yes. Okay. I believe that Pipra has encountered something of a foolish plan from Kavian. There's likely to be some trouble ahead. Pipra herself has a backup plan, but we believe that Kavian has some ill intent towards our intended audience here.
What?
In my room last night, he came to me. And he explained that I was not to be close to him, that he was to, well, that I was to trust him. And I was worried at first, but Pipra investigated further, and well, I think the plans that Kavian have are of dire nature. Stay close to me. I believe Pipra will be able to help out a lot here, but if things go wrong, then I shall certainly endeavor to protect you from any of the fallout. Stay close and stay on your guard. This might get ugly.
Well, thank you for the heads up.
Hey, Kavian is not to know. This is between us.
Okay.
Shall we?
I will
extend
do my
arm.
best. We
I kinda-
shall.
Let's go, and we kind of trot off together and join the group. Okay.
Okay. So the entire group is rejoined,
Group reformed, yes.
and you are at this point approaching Cloudborn Citadel.
We are,
You
indeed.
cross the familiar bridge over the boat-like feature.
Have I got
and-
my medallion back yet?
You do not have it. You approach,
Right in the corner.
and there are 2 guards, as before, who patrol either side or are stationed on either side of that door. And just as before, as you get close enough, hold. State your business in the Cloudborn Citadel. And this
We
is a
have
different
a-
voice.
We have audience scheduled with the king.
What sort of audience?
A petition, I believe. Your comrade, he took my medallion, but we're of, and I point towards
I'm
the
gonna
rest
hold
of the
up
3.
my medallion.
Okay.
He took mine as part of an authentication, I believe, but we have been scheduled for first light today.
Upon seeing
soon.
the medallion that Pipra holds up, the guard continues. Very well. You are expected. Upon entry, follow the main hall down quite a ways, and it will eventually lead you to the throne room.
Very
And
well.
They move their weapons, and the door. Sudden sound as the door kind of creaks and then starts moving open, just as before it opens inward. And the inside of the citadel is made known to you.
Thank you kindly. I walk into the citadel.
As you enter in, you are greeted by a very wealthy appearing, very well-crafted architecture, very grand hall that you are now walking down, with a deep blue with gold accents kind of rug laid out, kind of carpet that stretches the length of it. On either side, you see various panes of stained glass that refract the light that enters the room into the various colors and patterns that shine onto the floor. There are tall white pillars that support the kind of ceiling of this main hall. And you see the occasional kind of soldier or guard figure that is kind of standing at their post. A couple are kind of moseying about. There's a couple laborers that go to and fro, and after a little bit of walking, you are greeted by a Dukaze man who abruptly walks up to you guys and introduces himself. Ah, hello. You must be the party from Meritea.
That's correct.
Ah, well,
We have audience with the king.
glad to hear you made it. I am Tyrillian. I am the king's first steward. I take care of most of
Very
the day-to-day things and activities and make sure nothing goes awry. As he's speaking, you see that this individual looks like maybe early 30s in age. They stand about 5'10", so they're kind of thereabouts with the average of the group. They've got shorter black hair, a little bit of a light stubble, but nothing crazy. And the outfit he wears is pretty nice. It's made of various grays, the colors of Ithaca. The kind of instead of the white, it's more grays, but it's got the blues and golds. He's got little circular framed glasses. Kind of, they look more like reading glasses, if anything, and he just kind of wears them all the time. And he looks like he's been doing this job for a while. He's kind of settled in a little bit. If you follow me, then the Cloud King is expecting you. And he turns in. He's got a little bit of a brisk pace to him. So you guys gotta kind of...
It wouldn't be hard for Hera to keep up, probably.
It would not be hard for Hera. But for those of you who are not as tall as Hera, it might have to, a little bit of a longer strides to keep up, especially Pipra. And after a while of walking, you kind of enter through this doorway, this kind of... arched doorway, I suppose. There's no door, but it's just kind of the frame as it transitions from the one hall into another. And this one becomes very clear as being the throne room of the Citadel. And as you enter, on the far side, you can see there's a couple steps that elevate the throne in which the Cloud King sits. Hanging above the throne in the very tall and open room is a banner, the banner of Ithaca specifically, that is adorned above his head, and there are the various stewards and laborers and guard soldiers and such that you might expect in the throne room. To either side of you, as you walk closer, there are some long tables that you assume are for kind of grand get-togethers and feasts and such of that nature. As you approach closer, on either side, at the base of the stairs, either side of the Cloud King, there are two individuals that appear some mix of soldier and guard, perhaps a special kind of rank specifically within the Citadel. It kind of reminds you of the guards that you saw standing post on the outside of the Citadel. They appear very well trained, very seasoned, very much up to any task that might fall their way. And they stand as though statues, not really acknowledging anything, but always ready with their weapons at their side.
Their chin strap just too tight.
As you approach, the Cloud King stands from his throne, and to your surprise, bows in your direction before returning to his seat. And as he stands up and does this, just describing his appearance, you see quite the older Dukaze man.
Okay.
He stands about 6'2", so he's pretty tall by the time he stands up. He's got long grayed hair reaching past the shoulders and a shorter gray beard. If you had to guess, he'd probably be in his 70s or so. At the tips of his hair, though, the gray fades into a deep bluish purple. He wears a silver chest plate, very ornate, very highly crafted, accented by the blues and golds of the Ithaca province. Complementing the chest plate is a very well-tailored robe of whites, blues, and golds. Atop his head sits a white crown with wings portrayed on either side in the shape of it. A few spots of gold and blue on the crown help tie it in to the rest of the outfit as well. And he sits back down after taking that bow, having your full attention. Or you have his full attention. That's the one.
Firstly, I would like to dismiss Winston to go and scurry up a wall to try and like get a view of the whole of the whole of the throne room as stealthily as possible
Okay.
to alert me telepathically if anyone draws a weapon.
Go ahead and have Winston roll a stealth check.
Oh, let me just check what that is going to be. That's a dex, so that's going to be a +3, and it's going to make that a 17.
Okay. So after a little bit, you are able to spot that above the flag that hangs down over the Cloud King, kind of on the kind of wooden piece that holds the fabric in place, you're able to spot at this point, a lot smaller from a distance, Winston, perched up like a bird on a branch.
I would like to just ready an action. If Kavian does anything I'm not expecting, if he does anything with the wine,
Okay.
or just in general, if he does anything sus, I will try and charm him. And if this happens, he has to make a DC 15 wisdom save.
Okay.
So Winston himself actually has advantage on perception checks and a +3 to +3 to the roll.
Okay.
So he's gonna be able to see, well,
Duly
or
noted.
hear any weapons being drawn.
Got it.
I myself am going to take a knee before the king, just royal courtesy.
Okay. The king is going to
kind of curtsy, kind of
okay.
do something respectful.
King is going to speak up. So I hear you come from the far south.
That we do, your highness.
Bearing with you a message.
A message indeed. From the Maritime Council, as I'm sure you have no doubt been informed, your highness.
He nods.
With this I rise. The message is one of a potential alliance between the Maritime people and the people of Ithaca. A defensive one against the advance of the Acrylic Empire. Maritea has recently fallen under attack. The town of Sin invaded by a raiding party from the Empire. We know not from where they originated, but they were indeed Empire forces.
So
We ourselves
I've heard.
were present for the attack.
Were you? And
yes.
What information of this attack might you be able to present?
The attackers looked to burn the town down. They first of all rammed the docks with a longboat of sorts, set the boat itself on fire, and then the town to follow. We ourselves dealt with them.
This is strange indeed.
They bore the crest of the Empire. On them a note explaining they were not to fail.
And of the council, this is all they sent you to bring forth?
They, as well as a petition for alliance, yes. An alliance between our two people.
He's going to kind of look across the various faces of the group. Look over at one of, you assume might be his advisors or so. Kind of ponders for a second, stroking his long white beard and just kind of taking it all in. And as he's thinking, one of these apparent advisors, or so you might think, takes a step forward. Your Highness, if I may, these times do prove quite dangerous, and, well, unfortunately, fate has not been on our side as of late. If I might make a suggestion, it would be to take up this joining of arms. Our messengers here, and gestures towards the group, have no doubt encountered quite some trouble on their trek this far north across war-torn areas to deliver this message. It surely could be just as important for them as it is for us, and could prove just what we need to turn the tides. And he bows and takes a step back. The king, of course, this whole time just watching him and just pondering what he's thinking, or pondering what he's saying. And then he stands up again. Very well. Then we shall see to it that a line of communication is secured between ourselves, and he motions with his arms out wide to the entire palace, the entire citadel, and the Yezaru of the South. At once, I will send a convoy by sea to the southern lands as a sort of way to secure this direct line of communication.
To Basator, I imagine.
Likely. I'll send word by courier to inform the Mystic Council of this decision, and to begin what we may in this coming together. Is there anything else? Wary group of travelers.
I step forward.
Okay.
I do not. I'm keeping with the group.
Okay.
And I say, my king, I know I'm a macabre, and therefore your people's enemy, as much as your people might be considered my enemy. And on behalf of all macabre, I wish to apologize for the war we all have to suffer. I would also like to apologize to my entire party for the difficulties we have been through, thanks to the war. I hope that what we do here today will help bring this war to a close, and once and for all, end it all.
I
wish
see.
my brother was there too, as I wanted to say a few words, but I suppose I might even consider all of you my distant siblings now, after all this. And you've all had my back, as I have hopefully had yours.
It's been an honor traveling with you.
I cheer to our future, and the future of Ishika and Kunalora, and I bring out the bottle of wine which I would think is poisoned.
Okay.
Cheers, my king.
And
I take
okay.
a sip of it, a big chug, and I kind of lean out to give
So,
it to the king.
You take a sip. You're just giving the whole bottle to him?
Yeah, because I didn't bring any cups.
Okay.
My king,
Classy.
might you have some fine darning
king,
silver
chug
by
it.
chance?
Studying you closely as you do this, his gaze lightens upon seeing you take a drink of it, and he steps down the steps from his throne and takes the jug in his hand and says to you, I wish for nothing but the swiftest end to this conflict. And he takes a swig himself.
Winston is on full alert.
I just gotta stand there waiting for the poison to kick in
Kavian,
for a moment.
make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
14.
Okay. So after a moment passes, you start to feel a knot in your stomach,
oh.
and it starts to grow stronger, stronger. And then you start to notice that the king has a look on his face of, you're not too sure, but almost pained. And as the moments pass by, as these mere seconds tick by in the clock, that pain inside of your stomach grows stronger and stronger.
Did it not work? What can I do? What can
And you're gonna take 10 points of poison damage.
How?
What?
Take off because I have resistance to poison.
Okay.
Wait.
No, that's right. Okay. You would have. And you know this. In character, you know that this could have been bad. And in front of you, the king kneels down, grabbing his stomach, as all of the guards in the surrounding area go to unsheath their weapons. Suddenly, the doors of the citadel at the far end burst open. And as the doors at the far end burst open, shouts are heard as soldiers come running in, blowing on various horns and such, signaling what you can only think to be some sort of alarm towards the war, towards possible invasion or so. And the king fully collapses to the ground. As this happens, the two of the large soldiers that are at either base of the stairs draw their long swords, and they rush towards Kavian as the rest of the soldiers in this hall turn their attention to the kind of people who just entered and are yelling and warning about various things. Of what you can pick out, invasion and empire. So
I turn to Theo or Hera.
I need. Okay, go for it.
I say, remember your promise, Hera. Please.
I nod.
I have an action ready if he does something sus.
I have an action ready, yeah.
Can I rush to the king?
I would also like to rush to the king, yeah.
I
And
would
can
like to stab the king.
You would like to.
No,
What are you
you will
doing,
not
Kavian?
stab the
Kavian's
king.
closest.
I'm taking the knife I hid in my left boot.
Okay.
I have an
dagger.
action ready if he does anything sus. I should be able to do this before he does anything.
You're a
I'd be
good
able
distance
to
away.
alert-
He is.
I'd be able to alert Pipra immediately.
I have a
Immediate.
range on charm person of 30 feet. I do not have to touch him for this.
Okay.
Okay.
I will not
So,
let this happen.
as
He has to make a DC 15
As
Oh,
Kavian
boy.
reaches
wisdom save.
for the knife, you attempt, in your desperation, to cast Charm Person on Kavian.
Okay.
A wisdom, 15.
Yes.
I learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
The amount of celebration there. Oh my god.
He loosens his grip on the knife, and from there, that's up to him. What happens? However, the king is not moving
Up to me. He
on the
charmed.
ground, and
Can I rush to the king?
you know,
To you,
Hera.
Darcy's.
In this moment, you are aware from your familiar that there are two of these highly trained, probably better than the knights you faced before, that are fully about to engage with Kavian. There are what appear to be 3 more standard, but still knights, still heavy armor, still very much big soldiers, who are also focused on Kavian. And
I want to make a shout out that's audible to everybody, and it's just gonna be, Your Majesty, Kavian, are you all right? Just that.
but as you say
This
that,
is going to be an attempt to make it look like they were both poisoned unintentionally.
as you say that, and
Please.
as you say that, and Kavian is suddenly, at the snap of a finger, under the effect of Charm Person and completely on a different state of mind, a different trajectory from just a second ago.
Can I make him get on his knees?
The 2 first to notice large soldier individuals reach Kavian, and 1 takes a swipe at him. Now, completely not ready for it due to Charm Person.
Oh no.
Kavian is, well, they're gonna attack with a spear.
He's immediately released from it once he's hit.
Yeah, that's true.
And with that spear, it is going to be a 21 to hit, which I assume
That
hits.
hits.
It
Yeah.
is going to do... It is going to do... I gotta figure out... Okay, there we go. It's going to do 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And as it hits, you are no longer under the effect of Charm Person, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So
He's
you
released
have been
once he
stabbed.
takes
The other
damage.
one
Changing our
is
music.
taking position on the other side of you to attempt to surround you. Just the 2 of them as the other 3 are approaching. Now, the rest of the group, as this is happening, Pipra being the most perceptive, you are going to notice that through the open doors and the shouts and the chaos and the rest of the Citadel, you hear the sounds of what do appear to be potentially some sort of invasion or siege. You hear loud booms off in the distance. You hear distant screams. You hear the sound of what might be a distant fire starting to roar.
Oh, this isn't even a joke. Okay.
Got chills.
Yeah, same.
Tato was like, I'm a
Either.
fake a siege
I just
to
changed the
help with
music
this.
there.
And DM was like, siege you say?
Also,
Alright,
I
can I
need
use it?
Kavian to roll initiative.
Boy.
And if anyone is going to decide to join Kavian, you have the opportunity to, but you do not have to.
I want to kind of stop this fight from happening from the outside of it. I want to go. I'm going to continue with my shout. I'm just going to go, I do not believe this man intended to poison the king. Hang on. And I'm going to run to the king and I'm going to cast second level restore health. It's going to be a wild magic check as well.
Oh no! Let me help you, king. Kills the king with thunder.
Let me help you, king. It's going to be
No.
10 health exactly restored to the king.
It is going to be ineffective.
What?
It is going to
no.
be ineffective.
Oh no.
Roll your chaos magic.
Oh. That's an 8, so it's
Okay.
not going to do it.
At least that's good.
Yeah.
Why
He's
won't
dead, isn't
it
he?
work?
Cody.
He's dead, isn't
He
he?
is
Can
not
I history
budging.
or
And I-
perception or
Oh.
anything check
It-
why
it-
isn't healing working?
What you do know, Pipra, is that while you thought you were able to separate the poison and the wine, you were not able. When you put it back, you added your healing potion, what you could, but
What? But I got rid of it. Was it the bottle poisoned?
all you know is that it didn't work, and the poison
have a chat
was
with the DM
definitely lingering.
Okay. I'd like to rush to the king, please. And
So you rush over as Hera's kind of knelt down, desperately
And-
trying anything.
touch him, and I would like to use Spare the Dying,
Okay.
and it just he becomes stable, if I'm understanding it correctly, right?
That
It
is
would-
if he is in the process, I believe, of his... If he was in that in-between.
Would you say that he's at 0 hit points, though? I mean, if he's... Is he,
See,
like,
Spare
dead
the
then?
Dying would work if Restore Health worked.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Oh no, he's just gone, isn't he?
If he was in
I'd
the
love to
in-between...
Investigation.
Oh.
Investigation, please, on the king. I want to see if he is dead. I want to check
Go
for
for it.
pulse. Investigation. That's gonna be a 15.
What you already fear to be the case
Oh,
becomes
no!
true. There is not the faintest hint of a pulse. And so, Kavian, what was your initiative roll?
5.
5, okay. Two seconds.
Are we, the rest of the party, currently hostile to the guards?
They are not focused on you.
Understood. Would they be if Kavian went down?
I don't know. You
Am
don't
I
know.
allowed to insight that?
That is not necessarily something you can roll for, but it is
Okay.
something that you just kind of have to think about, because you have there's no way for you to tell.
Okay.
Can I, from a distance, cast Bless on Kavian?
Yeah,
Secretly?
yeah,
Cool.
that'll work.
Secretly? Alright.
Okay. Then the one who did not get Kavian the first time with the spear is going to make their own attack, now officially in combat with Kavian, as the rest of you guys are kind of in between the chaos of the city and in between the chaos at the foot of the throne. This other
Pepper's
one,
gonna investigate outside.
this other one
Yeah, I'd like to do
is...
the same.
So you've,
Well, I thought
you've
you were
left
gonna
the
help
scene?
make sure Kavian doesn't die.
I can help make sure Kavian doesn't die.
Okay.
I
cool.
have nothing that isn't
So I'm
going
gonna make
to
sure he
wild
doesn't
magic
die. I'm
or-
gonna slap him later, and I'm gonna head outside.
So Pippa's outside.
I'm gonna follow suit and I'm gonna go, Kavian, do not die. We'll come back for you later. I'm just gonna run.
And Darcy's
coming
is
with me. Winston's
staying
coming
and
with me.
watching.
Darcy's is staying and watching, yes.
Okay.
But not like watching, like just sitting there watching.
Just
but
like
kinda, like,
keeping an eye.
just yeah,
Okay.
watching everything all at once.
Okay.
I want
the
to
other
send
one.
Winston up the outside of the building to like get
Okay.
a view of everything, see where the siege is coming in from.
Okay. In which case, the second one takes their own spear and makes an attack at Kavian. It is going to be a natural 20 to hit,
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh gosh.
which
Oh,
is
no.
going
Crit.
to do. Luckily, that could have been a lot worse. It's going to do 14 points of piercing damage.
I'm standing still, just
Okay.
barely.
Oh no.
Then, in which case, Kavian, you are up next.
I hold my hand over the probably very blooded wound from the first spear.
Mhm.
And as I'm kind of coughing up a little bit of blood, I stand up and I say, "Your king is dead. Lay down your arms. You do not need to die for someone who's already gone. My brothers are here and they're attacking the city as we speak. They come peacefully. They will march through the streets. You do not have to resist. It's already a lost fight. Just go home. Go home to your families. Leave. Now."
Roll a persuasion check
Oh boy.
with disadvantage because you're in combat.
Oh boy. What?
All right.
15?
That was a natural 20 as well.
15 and natural 20. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Okay, then.
You can see that there is hesitation on their faces at the words that you bring forth, and this conflict amongst them as one of these extra kind of trained individuals looks at the other, throws his spear down as he runs out, but the remaining one doesn't share the same attitude and refocuses his attention on to you. And there are still the distant three that are not quite as crazy as these guys, but they are closing fast. So, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I guess I pull out my longbow then.
Okay.
I spit out a bit of blood, and I just take a shot at the guy who's still standing.
Okay.
As you wish, my friend. And 26 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
Hold on, I got a thing here that I need to look at. Okay, that is a 1d8. 11. Oh, I forgot the hunter's marking. Do I need to do that before or after I do the damage? It's a bonus action.
I will say you won't be able to use that as a bonus action because you did the whole persuasion thing.
Okay.
And it's not wounded from before?
He is not wounded yet.
Okay, just 11 piercing damage.
Okay. You can see that the arrow sticks itself kind of towards the shoulder of his armor, but he's readying up his spear nonetheless and ready to go for another attack. Are you going to move at all, or are you just kind of readied there?
I'm going to get as much distance away from him as possible, 35 feet.
Okay.
Can you run towards me?
Yeah, sure. You know what? Yeah.
Okay.
Come
I'm
to
going to go
me.
towards my party members.
Okay.
It's just me.
So, since if you're going to disengage, because he was in melee range, he will have that attack of opportunity.
Ah. Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Am I able to just go towards Cavian?
Yeah, I mean, if you are
'Cause,
going,
I'm not...
if you're going to approach Cavian and get within range of him, you run the risk of then being engaged in the combat.
Okay.
That much you know. Right now, they're not focused on you.
Am I still within earshot of this battle? I'm making my way following
You
Pipra.
and Pipra, you are starting to get at the far end. Like, it's been about half a minute at this point, so you've done some walking. You know, if you were to glance back, you could still see. If there were like shouting, you could hear it.
I'd like to send Winston to just be on Pipra's shoulder to be able to do the watching for me, and I'd like to stay at the end of the hallway so that I can keep vigilant on this and step in if needed.
Okay.
Blaster caster at the ready.
Okay. Pipra, you notice a little ferret that jumps up on your shoulder.
I somehow have a potato in my pocket and I give it to him.
And Kavian, are you deciding to move anyway, or are you just gonna stay there?
I'm gonna stay.
Okay.
I need to stay.
So the guard is going to make another attack with their spear, and gripping it with both hands this time, putting everything they got into it. This time, it's going to be a 13 to hit.
Oh, that's a miss.
Okay. So with both hands, he goes to jab with it, but you were able to dodge out of the way in time, even despite being a little wounded already. And that is going to end his turn, which now brings forth the three of the not so big bad, but still bad individuals. more guards from the surrounding areas are entering the fight. It is back to you for this one, and then it will begin to have some stuff from them.
Okay.
I'm gonna risk the combat, and I'm gonna go up to Kavian, and I'm gonna cure him. I'm gonna cure wounds.
No,
At
let him die.
Huh?
Said no, let him die.
I can't. Darcy's can't do it. She just can't. She can't do it.
Okay, so Darcy's runs up and casts
She's gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Cure Wounds.
Just at level 1, not
Level
level 2,
1.
just level 1.
And
that's gonna.
As you do this, you very noticeably can feel that the attention of the guards has shifted to include you as well.
Okay.
All right, you can add 5 health points.
Thank you.
Not a lot, but it's
Okay. I am going to notice. Can I notice that as well?
You're already heading back there, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I am.
So you'll see it. Yep.
At this point, I would like to hood down, staff out, and I'm going to shout as loud as I can. If you know what's best for you, you will stand down. And that's going to include a slam of my staff, and it's going to be an intimidation attempt on all guards and Kavian.
It may
boy.
certainly attempt to roll intimidation.
That is going to be a 16.
As you say that, you notice that you catch the attention of everyone in the room. Kavian,
Okay, am I rolling
Darcy's
initiative as well?
included. But I still need Darcy's and Hera to roll initiative.
Initiative, here it comes. Blaster caster is in.
Nat 20.
That's going to be a
Plus
16.
1, 21.
What was Hera's?
17. Oh, the combat music's a bop.
It's giving me Pirates of the Caribbean vibe.
It is, yeah. It's Final Fantasy, but I don't know why it feels like that.
It feels
I'm
piratey.
I'm gonna add Pirates of the Caribbean to the combat music, actually. I can't not. Cody, would you consider this medium or high intensity combat?
Very high.
Oh, okay, right. Let me change it up.
While I'm standing here next to KV, and I just kind of want to look at him and be like, what are you doing? What's going on in your brain right now? Looking for something from him.
Okay. Well,
some kind of something.
In this case, it is
You idiot.
Kavian's turn right now.
Okay.
As you guys just joined after that began. Did you heal the points, by the way, from the cure wounds?
Yes.
Okay.
I look to Darcy and I say, "You've always been a great friend. I need to do this." And I cast Hunter's Mark on the big guy this time.
I thought he was going to cast it on me, and I was like,
I was about to say, oh my god.
And then I cast Cure Wounds on myself as well.
Okay.
We actually did the maths and we figured out that
That's
Kavian
fine.
could just about survive a wild magic surge.
dang.
And then I move away. I know I'll take damage from the guy, but I'll try and disengage.
Okay. He is going to indeed take an attack of opportunity. And it is going to be a 23 to hit.
Oh, that's a hit.
It is going to do...
Heavy combat.
Was that Doom music?
It was very briefly Doom music, yeah. It's now Dark Souls music.
It is going to do... Oh, yikes. It is going to do...
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, as soon as the DM says, oh yikes, you know it's bad.
It is going to do
Mercy.
16 points of piercing damage.
Oh, god, okay.
That's one above. I'm knocked out.
And Kavian,
Okay.
with that jab, trying to get away, collapses to the ground.
Son of a.
At that, it is the turn of one of the more normal-looking ones, who, at seeing that happen, is going to engage Darcy's with their short sword.
All right.
And they're going to go for an attack.
Hang in there, Darcy's.
It's going to be only a 10 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit. They're going to miss on that one.
Doesn't hit.
And they're just going to kind of get a frustrated look on their face. And it then returns to the big bad, who just used attack of opportunity, of course, to jab Kavian. They are, at seeing Kavian collapse into the ground, going to then ready their spear in Darcy's direction as well. And it is going to be natural 1 to hit, so not going to hit. And they're going to miss with that jab.
Nice luck.
Too tiny.
And they're not going to take... they're not going to move anymore. I mean, they're in melee range of you. As well as the 3 regular guys as well. So, Darcy's, you are currently in a 1v4 situation with Hera not far away. Kavian down. It is Darcy's turn.
Wait, I've rolled initiative, haven't I?
Yep, you are after Darcy's.
Oh, okay, right.
Okay, can I... Thanks, too. Can I try to, like put my hands up and just try to, like, tell these guys, like, we are not the bad... Like, can I roll persuasion and tell them that we are not the bad guys? And that they do not need to be fighting us? There are more pressing things in the manor.
You can try to, but just know that you've seen Kavian's attempt, you've seen Hera's attempt, and this is still going on.
I'm confident. I'm confident. I'm gonna roll.
So, say what you will, and then make your roll.
Listen, and I got my hands up. Listen, you do not stop. We are not here. The king going down was a shock to all of us. Please, lower your weapons and just stop this. We need to go, because the siege that's happening it's out there. We need to go out there. We need to stop this. This is not important. We are not the bad guys. And it's a 22.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It was almost a nat 20, but it was a 19.
That's good.
One of the big bad with the spear that just missed you is gonna speak up.
Please.
He's gonna point down at Kavian. He killed the king. We have no qualms with you. Scurry off and your life will be spared. But this, and he looks down at Kavian, this Arkelkic spy has made a devastating blow and will no longer live to see the effects of it.
Apparently, Izuka doesn't believe in like any kind of imprisonment.
Yep. Okay. I actually have
Oh gosh, I don't know what to do now.
You have been offered the ability to exit combat.
At the expense of Kavian, though.
At the expense of Kavian,
Yeah.
right?
Right. So Tato knows the strategy that I could possibly pull off here.
If
Tato
you
knows how well
want,
that might work.
I will say if either of you want to, you can attempt to roll a perception check on just what you're up against to get a better idea.
Yeah, no, let's have it. Let's have it. Perception.
I had a 15.
That's gonna be a 14 from me. What's the
You
stat
are
block?
probably better off leaving.
Oh no.
Hang on.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
So with Kavian being down,
They have to
Could-
start making death saves unless you
could
manage to
I
get your
could
bear that dying
could
off.
I could I, because I don't know, I'm still baby at this. Is it possible for me to give or to put into the mouth of Kavian an invisibility potion and also cast Spare the Dying?
They're both actions, so no.
Those are both actions? Okay. Well,
Do you need a distraction?
Although I'll
long
give you
enough to
points
do
for
it?
creativity.
Do you need a
I
distraction
tried.
long enough to do it?
It would.
Where am I at this point?
You,
You're
at this
kind of-
point, have gotten even further, and you are approaching you are just about at the opening of the citadel, and as you look out over the city below, you can see the occasional fire that is roaring, smoke filling the sky. You can see the various groups of soldiers and guards that are scurrying to meet whatever is happening. You can hear the distant sounds of shouts and screams, and at the far end, it almost feels like you can see flashes of red and silver.
Oh no.
I would like to grab a guard nearby and charm him.
Where exactly do you want to look for a guard?
They're just running around everywhere.
There
Just
could be one
I mean,
coming
they're
past.
running.
as I'm on my way out, or just like anyone I pass, really.
So the the first guards that you'll see are the ones that are in the streets below in the city. So you'll still have a good 50, 60 feet before you're down in the streets.
There's no one nearby me.
They have everyone in this part of the citadel has emptied to go join the fight outside.
You really don't want to give me any leeway. All right.
Winston would be able to see and hear even better, by the way, with advantage, if
This
that
is true.
helps.
This is true. It'll be a
I
lot
like
of the same, just more specifically. Yeah, I won't even make Winston roll because it'll be just more clear what Pipra is kind of seeing and hearing. It is very
I'm gonna
much
let Winston
is
into Pipra's ear.
very much some sort of archaic force that has engaged in some fashion with the city.
Okay. So it wasn't even a fake. Okay.
What if I dash? Can I get to someone?
You can get within range of where the kind of groups are scurrying and such. Yeah.
Would you allow me to do that and yell towards a guard? The fastest looking guard, might I add, to try and charm him and say, go to the King's Hall, wherever they're at, and tell them we need reinforcements now.
What's the save? Wisdom 15?
Yes.
Is going to be a 15.
Oh, he saved it.
Well, does he at least listen to what I said?
Yes, he did listen to you had his attention, he was engaged, and then he was like, and he just shook it off, and as somebody else called out from the group and was like, what are you doing, come on, and he's just looked a little ruffled and then just went on.
Okay.
So, Darcy's, you have a big
Just don't know
decision.
what to do.
Darcy's, if you need a distraction, I am capable of providing one. You can have your 2 turns, I'll give you it.
Can I? Yes.
You can
Okay.
shout to me to make a distraction.
Hey, Hera! Hera! I
And is
need
it my
your
turn?
help.
Is it my turn?
Once Darcy's turn is over.
So yeah, but I'm also like, you said that I'm like in melee range.
You are
Okay,
in melee range of 4 bad guys right now.
Yeah, so if I try to go to Kavian and spare the dying on him, they're gonna get like all of them get an opportunity, right?
Not unless you move to disengage per
Or unless
se.
I am catching their attention.
You are in a pickle, and like I said, based on your perception checks, you are playing a Dark Souls game right now. I'll say that much.
The music is fitting. The music is fitting.
And you have been given, Darcy specifically, you have been given the opportunity to, and Hera subsequently as well, the opportunity to disengage with his response to your persuasion.
So where Kavian went, can you kind of give us an idea of what this room looks like? Like, did Kavian go and like, is there a hallway door, something that's
This is a very
like,
big,
just past
very
him
big, wide open room.
that could look like if
The
I were
nearest
to
door
say, yes,
is
I'm gonna disengage,
the
but
near
I can walk
the
towards
nearest
Kavian, but also leave.
the nearest door is not within 1 movement. Like, it's a very big, wide open hall. The shouts echo off of the ceiling and how tall the
But-
walls are and everything.
But if I were to disengage, right?
If you were to
be able
disengage
leave,
and leave,
would
you would have to
would I
head
be
to
able to-
you'd have to head in the direction Pipra headed down, and the one Hera's coming
which
from
is not the direction of
goes
Kavian.
towards the city, not towards Kavian.
Son of a biscuit. Unbelievable. Well, I'm having a moral dilemma here. The biggest. I'll
TM's on the couch tonight.
Can the big bad is the one calling the shots right now?
He's the one that responded to your persuasion and gave you the opportunity to bounce.
Hera, you could distract them?
I could distract them for a single round, I think. It would give you enough time to do one thing, and then bolt. There's a much more experimental plan that could allow me to single-handedly take all 4, but it relies on things going incredibly right, which I'm not going to hedge my bets on.
Or incredibly wrong.
Yeah, well, actually, deliberately both at the same time.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this plan?
Probably not now that you say that. I had one idea, but it's probably not.
Okay. Well, that I can distract them for enough time, I think, that you could get out of there. That's about all I can manage.
Okay.
Especially from this range.
So I
Range.
guess just a general question, because
Mhm.
I'm curious.
Mhm.
When you disengage, like if you're given the opportunity to disengage, they're not going to make a hit.
They're not going to attack you
they're not gonna
unless
attack
you
me.
do something that puts you back into their bad graces.
Okay, so if I were to disengage past the, like I disengage and I walk past them, all of them would have their.
If you walk towards
correct?
them at all, they will re-engage because they are in the opposite direction of the exit. So that would be seen as re-engaging.
No, I mean like if I disengage towards the exit,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not going to like.
They're not going to attack you if you do that.
But are they all gonna have like? Are they gonna see me walking towards the door,
Yep.
or?
They're all gonna. It's a very wide open big room. They're gonna see you heading towards the exit. They can see Hera right now. If they squint hard enough, they could have seen Pippa a second ago, just exiting the very far doorway in. We're thinking like the royal palace thingy in Naboo in Star Wars Episode 1. That level
Never
of big
seen
wide
Star
open.
Wars.
For anyone who has.
Yeah, I figured, and it's a very nice situation. It's a very nice place to have a fight to the death.
Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm going to take. Is disengaging the action?
If you
Or is that
disengage,
just-
you're no longer in combat.
Okay, and then I can do whatever I want.
More or less.
Okay. I'm going to disengage.
Okay.
And I'm going to start walking towards the door.
Okay.
As
And
one
so
does
you're
when
going to
they
be watching
disengage.
towards Hera, basically.
Yeah.
So
And
this
I want to give Hera a look of like don't worry about me, sweetheart. Don't worry about me. And then I'd like to take the potion of invisibility.
Okay. All right.
I'm gone. You can't see me no more. But I'm still in the room, but I'm invisible.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. I'm doing my best.
no. Hang on. Oh, like, keep going, but
that would make it my turn.
It
wouldn't
is Hera's turn.
Okay. Strategy 1, I'm trying to once again dissuade these guys from not combat this time, but just distract them from you who just vanished. Strategy 2, I am intimidating them out of combat with a show of power. Strategy 3,
Ooh.
I am going to obliterate them entirely. That was in order of successful to least successful. Okay. Hera Brain, what would Hera do? This is so intense. Cool. Hera is going to, staff still in hand, but more as a walking apparatus. If I approach 30 feet, does that put me 30 feet from the group?
From the group and Kavian?
Yes.
Yeah, they're about 2 movements away, so yeah, you'll be about
Excellent.
halfway there.
That's where I'm going to move then. Okay, now I have to figure out my... Casting Blade Ward on myself. Blade Ward is on me. Okay, Blade Ward's on, so that was the big thing for me. I'm going to say, look behind me, and gesture as I cast it. Can you not see? Do you not have the brains among you to see the chaos out there is nothing compared to what you will be up against? Go now. Leave this poor idiot to die. Protect your people if you must. But you've made a grave mistake in attempting to waste your time with us. Intimidation or persuasion, what do you want me to roll?
You can roll either one.
What do I have better? Persuasion. I have a +4 and proficiency. I'm going to go ahead and use Chaotic Intervention to re-roll that.
Okay.
That would make it
Oh,
a
better.
dirty 20.
Oh,
Because I have
gosh.
my proficiency, and it's a dirty 20. So nat 1 to dirty 20. That's Chaotic Intervention for you.
You
I'm
love
doing
to see it.
I'm not taking an attack action, but I'm going to use my main action to ready dodge.
Okay.
So that's Blade Ward and dodge at the moment.
The super big bad is going to speak up, and he's going to say, while the attack rages out there, it would make a fool to leave a group acting on behalf of the Empire's wishes in this citadel. And he readies himself as well. And now is fully viewing, you get the idea that he's fully viewing your entire group now as acting with Kavian.
Thanks a lot.
I tried.
The entire group in there, to be fair.
Okay.
I tried.
To be
You're
fair.
you're invisible at the moment. They don't know where you are, and
This is true.
I'm well protected. This is fine. I'm good. I have got advantage.
So then, it
or rather, they have
is,
disadvantage to attack.
it is one of the more regular bad's turns.
Since I'm not in combat, and invisible, can I make my way towards Kavian instead of the door?
As invisible, yes, if you're gonna make your way towards Kavian.
Invisibility only breaks if they make an attack spell, by the way.
Yep. You will still need to be stealthy enough, but you will have advantage on stealth rolls. Are you going to kind of approach from where Hera's going, or are you going to try to circle around or something?
I guess the path that can get me to Kavian the quickest, but also the safest.
Okay, so it'll probably be like a circle around just so it's a little less heat.
Yeah.
So you'll be making your way there. You won't get there at this point yet, but you'll definitely be intending to get there. The one of the regular bads, whose turn it is going to... this is not the one who tried to attack Darcy's with the short sword. This is another one. They're going to, no weapons in hand, bring up their hands and start to conjure up a bit of this kind of yellowish orange. And after a little bit, they release this energy of this bolt of magic in the form of a firebolt directly at Hera.
Okay, you're rolling this at disadvantage. I'm dodging.
And it is going to be... It is going to be an 18 and a 17. That was unlucky.
Yeah, that was unlucky.
That was so
that one's
unlucky.
gonna hit. That one's gonna hit. Okay.
And it's gonna do second, find the right one. Okay. It's gonna do 9 points of fire damage.
Okay, 9 points.
And they're just gonna stay kind of in that general area. The other one, who is the third of the more regular ones, is going to conjure up a bit of their own, but this time it's not fire. This one is, as you see the familiar sight as they raise their hands, and it starts to spark a little bit, and you get this feeling over you like you didn't expect it today, but you might just get a little taste of your own medicine, should you say.
Oh, well, okay.
And it is going to be
this is also a disadvantage.
It is going
Attacks
to be...
made against me until my next turn are disadvantage. It's not just a single attack.
Yeah, it is going to be... Okay. It's going to be... well, the first one's a natural one, so it's not going to hit.
Okay, yeah, it's not going to hit me.
And that is... let's see, are they going to... I didn't have a map ready for this because I didn't expect this. Yeah, they're not. They're just gonna kind of stay around there, and not come any closer. Kavian,
Unfortunate.
It is time for your first.
Oh no!
Oh boy, I can roll it in real life if that's okay.
Yeah.
15.
Okay.
Oh, it's a success. Okay, cool.
And then it is on to the third of the regular bads, and this one is going to, you being at such a distance, sheath the sword, pull out their longbow, and at disadvantage, try to make an attack with the bow.
They are.
It's going to be... The lower one was a 16.
Okay, it's going to hit, but is it bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing?
It is actually, so it's not going to do anything. Okay. So it will hit, but just kind of bounce off of you and deflect.
Cool.
And they just get a confused look on their face. Before it is finally... Give me just a second. I just need to double check something here.
So I made that with Chaotic Intervention up. I'm going to roll my Wild Magic with disadvantage. I think I kind of have to do Strategy 3 at this point. We're gonna see if Unlimited Wild Magic is a thing. So Spare the Dying is not an attack spell. It wouldn't break your invisibility to use that.
This is correct.
So as it
I wasn't sure.
it's casting a spell, but it's not going to break your invisibility. You can keep doing that as long well. Yours was like a, and Spare the Dying isn't concentration either, so it's not going to break your concentration.
No, it's just a touch.
Cool. Then you're fine. You're staying invisible.
Hee hee hee.
Very cool.
Hee hee hee.
Okay. The... let's see. The big bad is going to not make an attack towards Hera, but rather he is going
Hasn't
to...
the big bad already gone?
Huh?
Hasn't the big bad already gone?
There was two. One went, one stayed.
Oh, okay, cool. There's two big bads. Cool.
He is going to...
2v4.
You are versus 4, yes. He is going to grab Kavian from under the arms, around the shoulders, this unconscious Kavian. And he is going to kind of pull him back and kind of set him... It's kind of like lying on a staircase almost. It's only a couple stairs up to the throne, but kind of like just on that angle, just kind of puts his unconscious body there and kind of stands over it with his spear at the ready, and watches as the kind of 3 more regular guys 10 feet in front of him are just kind of there ready as this kind of line of defense. As this happens, you can see that he's kind of studying past everything in this room that's happening. He kind of got himself distanced so he could kind of take in the situation, and he can see through the door at the far end of the hallway here of the Citadel. He's kind of studying everything that's happening outside, and you notice that he kind of uses his spear and he kind of waves it in the air. And he just kind of waves it over his head. You're not too sure what. If you would like, you can try to glance back, but you see him do that.
Can I see? Because I can see it, right?
Yeah, Darcy, you can look without. Right? I mean, even Hera, even if you look, it's not like a bad thing for you. It's just if that made your character want to look back. Basically,
I would use Winston's vision to look.
Well, is so Winston with Pipra though?
Winston's with Pipra, but it's in the same direction that he's pointing, no?
Winston will have no idea in terms of that. There's no connection that Winston can make between...
No, he can telepathy.
No, not that. I mean, between what he's waving to and what Winston can around Winston. There's no correlation.
In which case, no, he can't then. Okay, cool.
Yeah. As for Darcy's, you are going to look?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you take a look down the hallway, you can see that there are 2 individuals making their way towards the throne room of some sort of guard soldier type deal. They actually look, if anything, very familiar to the ones that let you into the city in the first place. those more kind of traditional, I guess, knights, if you will. Obviously not those exact ones, but of that kind of rank, I suppose. And you see them approaching the throne room, and they got a brisk way about them. You know, they're getting their weapons ready, and such like that.
Okay, well, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to let people know that I'm invisible.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna notice it and then keep making my way towards the now new location of Kavian.
Okay. All right. And for the big bad, just kind of motioning them and kind of moving, caving and stuff, that is going to be him, which does make it, well, if you were in combat, it would be Darcy's turn, but go ahead and, what is it you would like to attempt to do?
I'd like to get to Kavian and inconspicuously spare the dying him.
Okay, roll a stealth check with advantage, because you're invisible.
First one was a dirty 20.
Okay.
And the second one was a 7.
Okay.
So I'll take the dirty 20.
So you are able to stealthily get up there. And as you do, you are able to get to Kavian and reach out enough to successfully cast Spare the Dying, which will then make Kavian stable, no longer doing the death saving rolls.
Okay.
Kavian, as you regain consciousness, you are...
It doesn't regain consciousness.
No, it's just stable?
Rolling it.
It just
Let me take a look at it.
Just stable.
Yeah.
So
He just becomes stable.
it means he's still
Got it.
unconscious, he's
Got
still
it.
at 0, he's just not gonna die anymore.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm so sorry to rules lawyer that.
Okay. In which case, yeah, you are able to do that. And that gives it back to Hera.
Okay. Would I be able to see anything to do with what has just happened at the back with Spare the Dying?
Nope. No idea.
No idea. Alright, well, Blade Ward is continuing, so my bonus action is spent on this, and that's going to mean that I have to quicken the next. Sorry, I'm just thinking about what to do here. I've set myself up for any one of 3 strategies, and I can still attempt it, but I'm going to call out, and I'm going to go, "We just want our friend back. You can do whatever you wish. We're leaving." With that, I'm going to cast this, knowing that it's not going to kill or anything. I'm going to cast a Chaos Bolt forth towards the big bad that was previously addressing me and the whole group as the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a 23 to hit.
That's going to hit.
Ooh.
It is going to deal to him
Oh,
10 plus 10 plus 3, and I'm going to just quickly choose the damage type of this. What was my rolls there? It was a 6 and a 4, so I'm going to go ahead and choose straight force damage. So that's going to be 10 and then 3 straight force damage. Wild magic needs to be at disadvantage. 5 and
Wait,
1.
why
Perfect.
is it at disadvantage?
I used chaotic intervention, so my next check
Got it.
is
Got it.
so that's a
Okay.
1. I need to roll wild magic. That's exactly as intended.
Watch it cast
Okay.
muffle on yourself or something.
Okay, that's a 20.
Oh, boy.
That's interesting. Okay, let's see. Infinite wild magic glitch. Let's go. 20 is I regain all expended sorcery points. So the sorcery points I used to quicken my last 2 actions are now got. I've got 4 left.
Okay.
That's so I've got my Blade Ward running still, and that's going to be my turn. I'm just going to be trying to keep their attention on me as I let Darcy's go. I go, Darcy's, we are leaving. That's all I can do. I've not got a lot of health points. This is all I can do to try and distract them for a while.
So your Chaos Bolt streaks forward, and you said it did 13 total?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Just mark that down real quick.
I'm just mentally noting that infinite wild magic might actually be feasible at this point.
and you see that it strikes him square in the chest, and he kind of stumbles back a little bit, but he's very brutish, so he kind of just absorbs it and just kind of grunts a little bit at taking that
cast
bolt.
with the intention of killing either.
Yeah,
it was a warning shot.
Right.
And a very clearly warning shot.
And he's going to kind of like take his stance. And with that, that's the end of your turn, correct?
I'm going to end my turn with that.
Okay.
If possible, I'd like to back towards the door with my movement.
Facing them back towards the door?
I'm facing them back towards the door.
Okay.
I know I'm not within any
So you
attack
are
range of them,
60 feet away now from the 3
I'll go
regular.
ahead and use half my movement.
Half,
so
okay.
I'll
45.
take 45 feet, yeah.
Got it. And with that, the one that was the fire mage is going to take his turn, and he, again, just as before, going to try to get you with the firebolt.
This is going to be regular. Roll is no longer disadvantage.
Natural 20.
Oh, okay.
And it is going to do...
Crying.
Crying at the club.
Crying at the club.
It is going to do... it's going to do 14 points of fire damage.
Oh, you're gonna have to get me when I'm down. Okay, 14 points, understood.
You're down now or no? That was
No,
just
I'm
for
not down,
later.
but
Okay.
What
you said confused me a sec. I was like,
Yeah, you're gonna have to get me.
I didn't see that coming. No. So it's gonna be
It's
then...
really close though. It's really, really close.
Yeah, it's gonna be then to the lightning boy who rolled a natural 1 last time.
Lightning boy.
And again at Hera. It's going to be, raises the hand and is going to attempt to send out a streak of this lightning. It is going to be a... 17.
17 hits.
Okay. 8. Not me, still not memorizing which one's the D8, and I have to look. Okay. It is gonna be...
one.
It is gonna be 4 points of lightning damage from that one. Down. Oh boy. Okay. So with that 4 point, that lightning streak towards Hera, as Hera backs away, Hera as well falls to the ground and leaves an invisible Darcy's as amongst our group, the only one in the room that is conscious. As Kavian is stable, Hera is down to death saving throws.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
It then would go to Kavian if Kavian had a death saving throw to do, but Kavian is just kind of existing right now.
all right.
Then it would go to the smaller of the bad and the big bad, one of the smallers of the bad and the big bad, and the smaller bads are going to kind of make their way back towards the throne where the unconscious Kavian sits. And Darcy's, you are kind of seeing as they kind of converge, obviously not on you because they don't know you're there. The really big bad with the spear kind of raises his spear, and you can see that he is about to point it downward. You have an opportunity to do anything you'd like here.
Oh no.
Is he pointing his thing at Kavian?
Downwards, you can only assume towards Kavian.
Okay. Oh, okay. 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 Oh. Um.
And you are aware, by the way, that Hera just went down. Like, it's something you
I
would have
know,
seen
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
You're aware of that. You're aware of what's going on with Kavian. You are, unfortunately, yet again, poor Darcy's in all of these moral dilemmas. If a train is going to hit either one of your friends, which one do you save?
No.
It's literally a trolley problem.
It really is a trolley problem. So, after I go, who goes next?
Well, you're not
It would
technically
be
in
me,
combat.
but-
So
Right.
I'm keeping the order generally, but at this point, the little bads have converged, and that was kind of their thing they were doing. The big bad has kind of converged to them there. He is kind of almost ceremoniously taking his spear and angling it downward towards where Kavian lays, now surrounded by this group of the soldiers, these guards. And at this point, if there was anything you wanted to do in relation to like actually making contact with Kavian, we're talking like you'd have to reach through the legs of someone. We're talking at this point.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Kavian. Ay. And how far away is Hera?
Hera's
me?
got to make, no matter what, Hera cannot die like right away, because even with death saves, if it's a natural one, you still have another chance. So
Yeah.
you have time to get to
I have
Hera.
at least one round. It'll be that +1 to get.
Yeah,
yourself
worst case
ready.
scenario. Yeah,
If
you'll still
I am
make it.
if I'm to do worst case possible scenario, then you'll still make it if you start running now. But that's worst case scenario.
Yeah, no matter what, you'll make it to Hera if that's your goal.
Okay. And then is Cure Wounds an attack spell?
Cure Wounds is not an attack spell.
Nope.
So I'd stay invisible.
Stay invisible.
If you attempt to
Okay.
cast it, your stealth check with advantage will no longer have advantage because you're so close to the legs of everyone, so it'll just even itself out. It'll just be a straight stealth roll.
That'll be a 1v4.
Regardless of if the stealth roll fails or succeeds, you could still get the spell off. It's just a matter of them knowing about you, where you are again, and re-engaging permanently with you, or getting really lucky and pulling it off and also not getting caught. But
Okay. I'm gonna
if it influences your decision at all, don't forget about the 2 extra knights that are still yet to enter the throne room that are approaching. Just so you have all the information.
Okay. I don't know. I'm torn. I want to do it all. I want to save everybody. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna Do I have the ability to dash? Like, do I get to run extra?
Everyone has
Is that a
that
thing?
as an action.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, okay. And
It's an action though, so you can do that a turn, and then the next turn you'll
Like
have spells
if
available.
you're thinking dash for Hera, the dash, I mean, using the dash, you will get right up on Hera. You
Yeah,
just
you'll-
won't have an action until
right.
later.
Okay. I'm just gonna. I guess. I'm sorry, Kavian. I'm gonna. I don't know what to do.
It feels so bad.
I don't know what to do. I'm gonna. You know what? I had I don't know if that's like how bardic inspiration works, but I have leftover bardic inspiration from the last episode. Am I
It-
able to use it?
Depends on what for.
On I guess what can I use it on?
Well, here, let
Can I
me
use it
see
on a,
if it
checks, attack rolls, and
expires at
saving
all.
throws.
so I could use it on like
Yeah.
a stealth check.
If you still have it, you'd be able to. Yeah. Hang on, I need to go and look up bardic inspiration.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it have like a run out time?
I'm not sure if it's until next long rest or after
I hope
duration.
it's-
1 minute. Inspiration. Duration. 10 minutes. Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's gone.
jeez. All
That's
right,
a
never
lot less
mind.
than I thought it was. That's a lot less than I
Oh.
thought it was.
Womp womp.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna. I don't know.
Make
Oh,
the move to
God.
Hera.
Once I'm up, I have basically all of my spell slots left. I don't know if I'd be able to get in there and still be alive to rescue them, but I could get enough of a distraction again to try and get them to chase us out and leave Kavian not dead. It would rely on me casting a lot, so you'd have to run, but yeah, I could do it.
Is it okay? So. Oh gosh. I guess, yeah. I guess I'm gonna make my way towards Hera in hopes that maybe she can get there. I mean, the odds are, well,
The
no,
action
because
I am
the
going
big
to
the
take is
big
to
bad.
try and distract them. It's if I try and engage them, it'll result in both of us death. But the action I'm going to try and take is to distract them to essentially make them follow us out.
So you're moving to Hera?
It's just I don't wanna. I don't want to see Kavian die. Oh gosh.
I'm going to try. I'm going to expend basically every ability I have to make a distraction work again.
I'm just worried that if I go towards you to try to heal you, that won't that give the big bad time to bring his spear down onto Kavian?
This
On
is
his
the
next
this is the
turn.
conundrum you are in.
Yeah, it is really that.
It's such a conundrum
They
too
will
because you can't
save-
just leave Hera
Yeah,
either.
they will lose one death saving throw if they get any damage off on them, basically. They have succeeded one already. They'll be 1-1.
Does it not reset if put stable?
Good question. Give me a second. I don't actually know.
If I'm not mistaken, wouldn't it? My guess would be because he's stable, the first one would put him unstable, so no throws, and then more would then be one, so on and so forth.
I
right?
think an incapacitated target. Wait, no, I need to check this. I don't know well enough myself. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
comment on it until I know. If an unconscious character takes damage at 0 HP, they automatically fail a death saving throw.
Okay. There's also anyone who makes an attack on an unconscious creature has advantage on that attack.
Mm.
Okay.
This is this is so intense.
Don't worry, Darcy's. No matter what happens, we all know the situation you were in. So
yeah, this is.
it's
this
no
is
one's
not-
gonna hold it against you, no matter what happens.
I'm gonna try to cure wounds. I'm gonna try to cure wounds, Kavian.
Okay.
At second level.
Okay.
So do I need to roll the stealth check first?
Roll
or
figure out how much is getting healed, and then roll your stealth check.
He's gonna get healed 18 points at
Wow.
18 points.
Wow. Okay.
What?
And
Ooh,
I'm so
Now you're
scared.
conscious,
Okay,
Kavian, and as you come to
stealth
consciousness,
check.
you see
Stealth check was an
4
18.
bads towering above you, spear about to come down, and you're just kind of dazed and confused as you see this happening. Darcy's, you are able to reach between the legs and pull this off without being noticed. However,
Then take me to Hera.
while they don't notice you, they notice an awake Kavian,
Oh yeah, they will.
Ah.
and
Okay, let's see.
combat
what
stances are re-engaged. I
Combat
need the
stances
first death saving throw from Hera.
It's a fail,
Okay.
but it's not a critical fail. It's a
One
fail,
fail.
though. One fail.
It is a little bad turn, and now that combat is kind of re-engaged, little bad is going to be kind of startled by it, but nonetheless going to try and, I mean, this is, you might want to look away. The first of the bads, the little bad, is going to take in such close range, going to take the short sword and try to attack Kavian, who is awoken to their surprise, who they thought basically almost dead or close to it and such. And it is going to be if a creature is prone, does an attacker in melee range have an advantage? Hold on, I gotta look that up.
This is way more than I expected.
Yeah, this is so intense.
And everything planned, and then just everyone is dying.
No, I will heal everybody.
Yes.
I will save
So
everyone.
from prone, Kavian will have disadvantage on attack, and any attack against him has advantage.
Wait,
Until he
Darcy,
stands
did
up.
you use your movement to run towards me, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
In which case, the one jabbing with the short sword towards Kavian is going to be... Oh, that was... And then... Okay, the highest one was a 13, which I don't believe hits.
That misses.
Okay, so the first one's going to miss. The second one, I mean, same deal. They're all kind of in this crowd. with their own, they are going to... Yeah.
Battle of Heroes is like perfect music for this as well.
Second one, highest one was a 16.
That's a miss.
Okay, is just gonna miss on that one, which then makes Kavia's turn. And you can use half your movement to stand up and get rid of this prone thing.
I don't wanna.
I did not save you for you to lay on your butt and take it. Get your butt up.
What to do? Oh.
I can't believe both of those guys had advantage and still missed.
I know.
I'm stuck.
Oh, I don't know what to do. I get up and I try. I use disengage to try and get away.
Okay, that is 4 attacks of opportunity.
Oh no, I use disengage, so that's my action.
Okay, as your action. Well, does that not
Or
still?
does that only go for one
It
of them?
does. Give
Hold
me a
on.
second.
I'm gonna look it up.
Does it do all 4 or only one?
Your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks for the rest of the turn. They'll still be able to attack once it's their turn again. It just doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
Okay. Simple enough. Okay. I will need you to make a strength check because you will have to plow through them as they're surrounding you.
Okay.
Eh? Oh god.
Kavian. Well, Kavian's good at strength.
Come on.
Come on,
Oh,
Jean.
yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
What was it?
17.
They also rolled a 17.
No.
No
So
way.
roll again. I'll have them both roll again.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Oh
no. 8.
no!
14.
No!
Oh no!
You can't even script that. That was just... Okay.
Oh no. Okay.
So you go
Well-
to get up and plow through them. You are up to your feet. You can at least get up to your feet. But they more than you expected. That kind of... You break the circle a little bit, but generally you're all still melee crowd type of thing.
Okay, well then I'll I guess I take my hands up and I say I surrender. I just take me, and I also shout out to Hera. You promise
I'm
not to
unconscious.
engage. Oh,
I cannot
Well,
hear.
I
I
was
mean,
yelling about
Kavian
it.
wouldn't
Just
know.
shout out.
Kavian wouldn't know.
Okay.
Just shout out into the room anyways. You promised you wouldn't engage.
Darcy's will
Please,
hear
you.
this.
You did not have to fight for me. I told you last night.
Okay. And with that, one of the little bads, heeding to this plea, takes Kavian's hands, binds them, and hurries him off with the assistance of another one to, still a big room, but starts to hurry him off towards a doorway to the side. Unsure of where it goes. For for Darcy, who's the only one who can, in the group, who sees this. As the rest of them, being the big bad, one of the little ones, and the 2 knights who have now entered the throne room, as they all take in this scene before them. Hera just unconscious, and Kavian being hauled away, but conscious and alive. So, at this point, Darcy's, you are able to get to Hera, and do with that as you may.
Okay, Do I have to spare the dying Hera, or can I just cure wounds?
Spare,
Cure wounds, man.
yeah, spare the dying will just put Hera into existing mode, but not conscious.
Cure wounds will bring me back to
Back to
fighting.
play?
So, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna also cure wounds Hera at the 2nd level.
Okay.
So that's gonna be 8.
That's enough.
Okay.
Do I need to roll anything else?
No, I mean it's you're not particularly trying to avoid anyone. You're just trying to get to Hera.
Okay.
So Hera is able to regain consciousness and
I am regaining
regain your
consciousness. You
bearings.
still have half your movement left, so you can keep moving.
What's the plan? What are we doing?
As you guys are doing this,
while
as
I'm healing you, can I ask you what's
as
the
you guys
plan?
are
What we're doing?
conversing, you are able to see that Kavian is being hauled away, but you can see
Currently
that
in the
he is
same room?
alive. In the same room, but
We don't have any way to get to him anymore.
further
do
away than the throne was. And what you do know is that he's alive, and he's being, rather than as of now, rather than killed, he's just being taken.
we? That's an improvement. Okay.
From where you were a second ago, that's a big improvement.
Yeah, that's an
About to
improvement.
be stabbed, so just carting away.
Yeah, that's better. Okay. What are the So previously, my plan was to come back and immediately use 2 scorching rays on everyone in the room and hope that wild magic gets triggered for another attack. Now I'm in kind of right, Kavian's alive, he's just getting carted off. Run. I'm gonna run and disengage with Darcy's. Is that I don't know. Wait.
Are you both going to do that?
Blade Ward is on me. But yeah, Blade Ward is on me. I'm going to use my action to Blade Ward myself again.
Okay. And I assume if you started running, Darcy's would just run with you.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
basing my action off of what Hera does. If
Okay.
Hera's staying in this room, I'm staying in this room.
I don't think
Because
I
I
can
am
stay in this
invisible.
Okay.
One attack. I'm judging by the amount of damage that I sustained with like 2 attacks from them. I'm 1 attack from going down anyway. So yeah, I'm going. I'm running.
Okay.
We're running.
So you bolt towards the exit, and the 2 knights that are entering, to your surprise, part and let you run out towards the hallway, towards the exit, and they continue on into the room. And as you glance over your shoulder behind you, you catch a final glimpse of a beaten and battered Kavian being dragged into a nearby room as the door closes behind. And that's where we end today's session.